Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your host, Jason, and these are the same three firefighters that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Regan Belladonna, Catfolk Wizard, played by Char. Hello.
Oh, Kennedy just came over, and dogs do this thing sometimes where they put their little whiskers forward a bit, and he did that, and it was very cute.
Excellent. We are blessed this day. And in the middle, we have Mayhem, human fighter, played by Will.
Am I Mayhem still? I don't know yet. We'll find out, I guess.
I don't know.
This is going to be weird, Jason. You've thrown a wrench in things.
And in the bottom right, Felix Milos, human bard, played by Alex.
Hello.
And speaking of weird, let's see. So last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers did battle with a pair of Red Mantis assassins that were clearly planted at Vencarlo's house in an attempt to assassinate him, as evidenced by them shouting, "You will die, Vencarlo," etc., etc. They set the house ablaze, and you escaped, and then killed them. And then unset the house ablaze with some quick work and neighborhood assembly. You managed to stop the blaze from getting too out of control and only pretty severely damaged the upper floor. And as the flames calmed down, you bumped into Eamon Gelento, one of Vencarlo's students at his Academy of Swordsmanship, and you learned that Eamon was meant to deliver some kind of box to you in the event of Vencarlo's long-term disappearance. That wasn't supposed to happen yet, but seeing that the house is on fire, he assumed that that must be the case, and rushed to go retrieve it for you. You helped him out and found the black box and took it back to Eamon's house, where you managed to solve the puzzle of its lock and open it, only to find a veritable treasure trove of goodies inside. You have now come into the possession of the entirety of Blackjack's iconic weaponry and gear and costume. Clearly, Vencarlo was, in fact, the illustrious Blackjack, or at least the most recent of the legendary immortal hero. And he left a letter inside to Mayhem, indicating that he intended on eventually grooming and passing the role down to you, but recent events have made that somewhat impossible, and he feared that he might lose his life before that came to pass, and so wanted Eamon to deliver this to you so that you could make the choice yourself. And yeah, and that's basically where we left you guys. You are currently in Eamon's dining room. He's out on a midnight stroll, or a 4 a.m. stroll at this point, while you look over the contents of this box, or chest. And yeah, that's, I think, where we're going to just jump right in now. So
I'll be honest, I would have rather had him be Blackjack longer, but... How long is Eamon going to be gone for still? Another 10 minutes? 5 minutes? 12 minutes?
yeah, he, right before you read the letter, he came back and said that he'll do another lap around the block. So another 5 or 10 minutes, you imagine.
Okay. I feel like it would be very inappropriate to do this right here. So the better option is how large is this chest, and can I get it into my bag of holding, or should I actually no? Strike that. Never mind. I don't remember if extra dimensional stuff does bad things if you put one inside the other, so let's not do that just in case.
Only the pack I think is extra dimensional. So
yeah, no, that will have to be removed separately, but the rest should be fine, I think.
I think the rest of the items are all fine. At a glance, there's a retrieval belt there. Blackjack's retrieval belt. That also is not.
So yeah.
Well, I guess if what's the actual rule for extra dimensional?
I was going to say I don't remember if it disables it or if it explodes. Okay.
Yeah.
As long as it
just
just ceases, and that's fine. I will check the backpack and the retrieval belt to ensure that there's nothing like in them, because if they cease to function, everything gets dumped, which could be causing problems. But
yeah, as you check the item, so some of these items are probably already tucked away inside of those things, so you just start kind of pulling out some of the stuff in here. And I don't think I went through all the items last time, so I'll do a quick run through here.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the audience, but you kind of look over all the items that are available. First up is Blackjack's Rapier, which itself is a +3 greater striking, keen, brilliant Dawn Silver Rapier, which does not have runes on it in the traditional sense. It is a relic weapon and grows in power with whoever is the current Blackjack. So it'll start at this level, and then as you level up, it gains other runes. Then we have Blackjack's Adamantine Dagger. It's a +1 striking, demolishing adamantine dagger used for piercing tough materials. Blackjack's Secret Knife, which is a +1 striking, coated corset knife. Can store poisons inside of it. His Throwing Knife, which is basically just a returning knife, but it has extra range. Normally, returning knives are like 20 feet. This one's got 60.
Yep. That's rather nice.
And his Mein Gauche, I think that's how you pronounce that, which is a cunning Mein Gauche that has a special guard that allows you to catch blades as a reaction. Then we have his Leather Armor, which that's actually just normal armor, with a +2 armor rune, a resilient, deathless, and ready runes already on it. We have his Cloak, which, while worn, gives you a +2 item bonus to stealth checks and gives you the Become Shadow mythic feat, which you can use hero points to activate. It also lets you become either invisible or gain the effects of Veil of Privacy once per day. We have Blackjack's Retrieval Belt, which acts as a normal retrieval belt where you can store items with an action, retrieve items as a free action. But additionally, it gives you either Prescient Planner or Prescient Consumable, whichever one you don't have, and allows you to pull items out of it as if you had those feats, which means that you can kind of Batman pull random tools out of your belt. We have Blackjack's Garb, which is just his outer clothing. Gives you a +2 item bonus to intimidation and diplomacy checks against Corvosans that are not nobles. The nobility is not scared of Blackjack like the common folk are, but the common folk are quite scared of Blackjack. They know the legends. They know what he means. Some nobles would probably be affected too, but the majority of them probably not. They have that hubris, you know. Then we have Blackjack's Gloves, which, what was the deal with those? They give bonuses to thievery checks, and let you once a day succeed a critically bump a failure or a critical failure on a thievery check. Then we have his Boots, which have trackless and soft landing runes on them. which let you kind of like what was the soft landing lets you gentle landing yourself, so you don't take damage from a fall once per day, and the trackless lets you I forget what that does. I think it lets you avoid
bonus for avoiding tracking, and you can affect other people within the area once a day.
Yes. Okay. So yes, you and a group can avoid being leaving behind footprints. Blackjack's any tool, which I think is just a normal any tool. I don't think I added anything extra to that one. Freedom Sting. Freedom Sting, which is a religious text for followers of the Freedom Sting movement, a hybrid faith between Caden Kalian and Callistria, the deities of freedom and revenge. And it's very similar to Blackjack's mantras that he laid out in his letter. Their edicts are to fight back against oppression and corruption, provide aid to the downtrodden, and conceal their own personal identities. But in addition, as acting as a religious text, as per normal, this acts, it's got a lot of stories of various heroes, masked and anonymous, throughout time. And the details of their exploits are detailed enough that you can use this to gain access to any feats or spells that normally require Firebrand's membership to access. There's a lot of random flashy feats and spells that are usually exclusive to the Firebrands, but you can learn about them through this.
Those are some really good feats too. While the Firebrand stuff is mildly overpowered, maybe.
Yeah, they're pretty fun.
It's good stuff. Silly. It's good stuff. Yeah.
Then we have his Wayfinder, which normally requires access to the Pathfinder Society to obtain. So you figure that Blackjack must have been a member at some point.
I was gonna say, did he have contacts maybe or anything like that? But okay,
quite possibly.
How old does the old Wayfinder look like? It's one of the aged objects in here, or is it more of a newer kind of acquisition from the look of it? I don't know how well it's aged or tarnished in time.
It doesn't look terribly tarnished, no. Some of these objects look like they've obviously been kept really well and probably maintained and over time. But this Wayfinder looks relatively new. Like, you imagine it's probably within the last couple of decades. So it's probably Carlo's or his immediate predecessor.
Good to know.
In the Wayfinder is a delaying Eon Stone, which it's pretty handy for Mayhem
I've killed this guy too many times. Let me give him some stuff to make sure I don't kill him quite so easily the next couple of times.
A little buffer. What does it do? I think it lets you reduce your dying value by once per day, and
I believe that's
heal
perfect.
once per day.
Yeah,
if it's in a Wayfinder.
Yeah, since it's got the resonant power. Cool.
There's also rings of swimming and climbing, which give you swim speeds and climb speeds respectively. And a movable rod. What?
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm thinking to myself.
Okay. Yes, he has rings of swimming and climbing, and a movable rod, and an infiltrator's toolkit. Additionally, it's a consumables, emerald two is a bunch, right? 2 emerald grasshoppers, the greater kind, a bunch of smoke balls, some shark tooth charms, a couple of vanishing coins, a gallows tooth, a sneaky key, and a bunch of fear gems. And then his pack itself, it's like his actual backpack, and the backpack is effectively a smuggler's pouch. It's like a special kind of bag of holding that has kind of a real pocket and a fake pocket, and the real pocket is extra dimensional, the fake pocket's not, I think. But additionally, his you can give it a command word to change its appearance, so you can wear it in either of your guises and just kind of switch the look on the fly. So you don't have to carry two bags around. And then the lockbox itself.
It's rather nice.
which is big and heavy. It's just a lockbox. Nothing, nothing too special about it.
All
right.
Mayhem's gonna go ahead and try and put as much together besides the extra dimensional items and back into the lockbox, and we'll attempt to get that into his bag of holding for transport. And he will also pull out the manual, the Freedom Sting, for later reading, as that has definitely caught his attention.
Here, I'll go ahead and put all the things in the lockbox then for you. And then I will drop the lockbox in your inventory, maybe. Hopefully that'll work.
Okay.
I don't know if that tends to work.
If it doesn't, I will handle it in a moment. It's fine.
Okay, but you guys can continue talking now.
But yeah, Mayhem's just going to start trying to pack things up. Still kind of respecting the idea that Vencarlo wouldn't want to reveal this, that I don't know how much we trust this kid, if we should be revealing these kind of secrets to him. So as much is going to get put away as possible before he gets back.
And certainly in the letter, it sounded like Vencarlo didn't yet trust... He trusted Eamon enough to let him bring this to you, but did not tell him anything about what's inside.
Right, like obviously he was trustworthy enough to note that he shouldn't be involved yet. So until I get to a place where I actually trust him, we're going to keep him on the outskirts, but it's good to know that he's reliable enough that he's willing to take a walk when he knows it's not his time. But in the meantime, we will pack things away and try and keep things under wraps until we are away from others.
Okay, I just dropped everything out of the box,
Yeah.
so here.
I can handle it.
Okay.
I was more just letting you know what my steps are here.
Alright, I put the lockbox in your bag at least. You can handle the rest.
Yeah, I see that.
Alright, so managed to get everything tucked away, or are in the process of doing so.
Mhm.
What do the others do? Say, just watch as Mayhem starts folding everything back into the bag or into the box and shut it.
A bit of quiet amazement. I like we're watching a legend literally change hands in this moment.
Regan's writing down some notes and is frowning a bit because she's expressed disappointment that, oh, they weren't gay. I guess that they were the same person. And she's like, I gotta make some notes on my fan fiction. So she's writing that down while you're doing everything.
There's this part of me that's like, this is the military issue where people were so into War Thunder or whatever that military game is with the vehicles that they went and like got DoD documents to find out exactly how these different military things were. And this is the sort of thing that Reagan's working to reveal by saying, oh no, they weren't lovers, they were actually the same person. Yeah. I know this. Don't tell me. I can't tell you how I know this, but I know this. Trust me.
Well, then she's kind of like, she's like writing it, and then she goes, well, maybe it's good that they're lovers because then it throws them off the trail. So then she starts rewriting it again, and like, a bit happier. She's like, yeah, they can be in love, and
we can make this work.
It's fine. And so by the end of it, by the time he's packed everything up, she's in happier spirits, even though this is a very dire situation.
All right. Around the time when you've got the full box packed up, then Eamon will return.
Oh, he's glowing.
Oh yes, he's still got his crystal.
That's how we know he's approaching, is we see him a block off.
Here he comes.
Yeah, you see in the windows, you see that like golden light. There's a knock at the door.
I'll check really quick with Mayhem and like make sure that he's
quickly stuffing the last of the items in there, but otherwise we'll nod. Did you open the door?
I'll open the door and like use my body to block the view for a bit, but let him in, like giving
To his own
him.
house.
Stay out of your house.
Thank you. Were you able to figure out what he wanted from you?
Work. He wanted work. They always want work.
Ah. Well, I suppose it's kind of late. You're more than welcome to spend the night here. My bedroom's upstairs. You can use that if you want.
I wouldn't take your bedroom. That's incredibly rude. Though I guess if the other two need someplace more comfortable to sleep, floor's fine.
I have my. Wait. Do I have my bedroll? I do have a bedroll that exists, but is it with me?
Or did you leave it back at school? 'Cause
I
that's what I
leave
did with mine.
everything
Mine's
I
at the
need.
house.
Yeah, mine's at school, so I guess I will sleep. Is there a chair?
We'll set up camp wherever you can house us, but we won't take your bed.
There's some couches and such in the den. Here, follow me. And he leads you over to his modest den.
Okay.
And there's a nice. There are actually two nice couches. There, like 2-person size wide couches. And on the floor, there's like a nice bear skin or like bear fur rug.
Mayhem goes and stretches out on the bear fur rug. As you do. No, but Mayhem will start to set up on the floor, presuming the others will take the beds or the couches.
All right. If you need anything, feel free to take anything from the pantry. And I should probably leave you alone. Good night. And he turns and makes his way up the steps.
Interesting fellow. It's also interesting Vin Carlo didn't trust him further than he did, but perhaps he just didn't know well enough.
I wouldn't trust anybody with this. The fact that we both know seems dangerous.
It's not great. I'm not going to lie. There's a reason why Lizzie doesn't know, and yeah. Maybe I should have opened this on my own without you two present, but I've been trusting you so far.
I'm sure there's a
Seems-
spell that can make me forget. But considering we'd be working together, I don't think that's a great option.
Right. I'd actually rather
Whoa.
if you know, you'll be much more helpful, and also I don't like keeping secrets from people necessarily. I don't know, it's kind of fun, but really it's more complicated than it's worth to keep things straight. So
We could definitely help keep this secret, but my hope is maybe we can return it to Vin Carlo when we find him alive.
I actually agree. That would be nice.
But yeah, I figured that in the morning we should probably work on finding out where he went and many of the other mysteries that this evening has brought us, like who seems to be running Old Corvosa these days.
I would also be quite interested to find out. We still have those bodies, right? Did we take them with us?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
they're here.
you did drag them through the streets, yes.
Yeah, as one does.
Does
I
he
think
have a
Tully was
backyard?
carrying one. Probably not dragging both of them, but
I assume
hope-
you put. Yeah, I think you've got them in the backyard currently, under a tarp, perhaps.
Thank God.
no, we just left him out there. Yes, you did.
Well, and like no, the worst part is he doesn't have a backyard. They're sitting in the entryway.
it's a
Just
small
stepping over it.
backyard.
You went to go open the door to let him back in, and you had to step over the bodies so that you could go to let him in. Then you both stepped over the bodies again to come back into the main room. But I will go and check the bodies to see if there's any. We found, I believe, some money on them. I don't know if we found any notes or anything else. We'll pull the armor off, I guess, to see if there's any benefit or use for anybody in that. This helm is identified. Is it supposed to be identified?
Yes, I believe one of you identified it.
Yeah, I identified
making
it
sure.
last time.
Yes.
Because that could be useful. Though. More in sense of having evidence of Manta's involvement could be useful. So I will take that. That also in the bag holding. So many things in our bags.
That's what they're for. Holding stuff.
Do we? And we have no idea why or how the Red Mantis even knew that he was somebody to attack.
They also did call him Ben Carlo and not Blackjack, so maybe they didn't know that part.
That's true.
Maybe he was just someone of strong
he?
interest.
What I guess then the question is, what was Vencarlo was a well-known person in town, but was he notable enough that there would be a political reason to target him that I could think of? Because that sounds. I don't know if I know he's a notable name, but I don't think of any. He's done anything as Vencarlo that's made him enemies off the top of my head.
To the public, he of the people who would have heard of him are typically tend to be like either adventurers or military-minded people, like either people in the guard or people from the Marines, and aspiring versions of either of those, because he is a well-known swordmaster and he has this famous academy here in town. But it's only to people who are combat aficionados or sword
Right.
people who like sword stuff. To everyone else, no, he's not like a particularly he's not a political figure really at all. The only things you've heard otherwise about him are from Cressida.
Then yeah. I don't know what other kind of enemies he might have made if it wasn't because he's Blackjack. Whether they're calling for Vencarlo or not, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody who is an ally of the people would be targeted in this time. But I don't know what they're up to. I don't know who's behind everything at this point anyway. Is the queen just fucking around?
I don't,
Just trying to burn everything down around her?
fucking around.
I mean, like,
Yeah, I
is she
know.
is she just here to destroy everything for the fun of it, or is she actually doing some plan? Is she being manipulated, or is she doing this of her own accord? There's a lot of questions we don't have answers to.
Yeah.
She just took an arrow to the head and seemingly walked away from it. I think she's not worrying about a lot of things.
You know, we should probably revisit that. Now that you bring that up,
That was weird, huh?
that was very weird. That was very, very strange. I
Yeah.
don't know people that can get shot in the head with an arrow, point blank or not. I mean, he had a full. Did he have full drawback on that, or was that like a kind of quick, half-ass sort of draw and shoot with the arrow?
He had full drawback. I mean, he
Yeah.
did it very quickly. It was clearly a moment of.
But he's a military guy.
Panic,
This
but-
is not like, yeah, he can do this. So it's not like he really just kind of poked her with this arrow. He shot her in the head, and she just stabbed him with that same arrow.
Yeah, he rolled a natural 20 on his point blank shot, and she did not care.
That's concerning.
Yeah, like I know Regan.
And you would probably estimate like Marcus Endron's level to be still higher than yours, like
Even
from
now.
like a mechanical level.
Wow.
Yeah, you think he's probably still higher level than you.
See, I was going to make a joke about that when Char said something, but I was like, I don't know what their actual levels are, so maybe not. No, it's even worse. That she should have been crit, she wasn't.
Sure, there's a lot of deals you can make with somebody to get that kind of protection.
Is there a magical means of harvesting people? Is that why the plague had to happen? Bodies or souls had to be taken? We interred or burned, actually. I think we burned most of the bodies themselves that were plague ridden. At some point we ran a place to bury them, so we started burning them. If I recall correctly. Is that right?
I think a lot of them were burned. They were you had to wheel them around town.
We took a number of them down to the Phrasmans, but I'm trying to remember if they were running out of space to inter them or if they were still able to take care of them at that point.
They were doing mass burials.
Mass burials, so just kind of pits.
Yeah, so some bodies were getting burned. The richer people still probably had enough money to get their proper burial spots, but even then, there were so many deaths so suddenly, so quickly, that a lot of them just ended up going to mass graves.
Hoity fucking toity types. If she was somehow using all of the deceased's souls?
Oh, like a big sacrifice to get her more power.
I don't know magic. That seems like a thing that you can do, right?
I need a library.
Is there a library on this island?
Figure that one out.
There's probably a library somewhere around Old Corvosa. We don't have a ton of resources here. It's a pretty low-class area broadly, but maybe in the kind of Fort Corvosa area, there might be some. Yeah, you imagine there's probably at least one.
Well, not tonight, but perhaps in the morning, if things are calm during the day, we can do some investigation.
Well, even if I had to go back to the academy, I'm sure they have books at least about, because we summon a whole bunch of crap like devils and demons. I'm sure the library
Oh,
has
you think she made a
something.
deal with something? I see.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's sort of what I mean, that was the kind of rumor, was that she was making deals with, like...
Well, she's from Cheliax, right?
Yeah.
They worship devils there, or they consort with them, whatever they do.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
maybe.
that is the sort of thing that could make you take an arrow to the head and shrug it off.
Gotta look it up
This is
in my book.
like both Felix and Alex asking this question. This is
There are potent magics out there, I know,
I don't know.
but
Yeah.
I don't.
Sorry, what was the specific question? Whether or not a deal with a demon could...
yeah, like I'm still stuck on the fact that, like, I don't know of a lot of things that let you take an arrow to the head and just sort of shrug it off, short of being undead, and like that has the problem of being undead.
Yeah, I mean, it could be undead. It could be straight up immortality. Could be really fast regeneration. Could be an insane amount of hit points.
But I mean,
or some other kind of invulnerability.
Never mind. The speculation's not going to get us anywhere.
But it could.
But yes, you imagine that, like, sufficiently powerful magics could protect you in such a way. But those are pretty high level magics.
And like,
to expend it on such a casting for what was ceremonial? Was she expecting danger?
I
Was
assume
this
it's
a
just like a perpetual thing, where she's just
always
coated in it. If that's what it is.
This is like goes back to the me agreeing with your thought here that I think the Queen has made a deal with something or someone that is incredibly powerful, because I can't imagine that she's had the free time between all of the rest of the problems to study some, god level magic.
Is it? She came from Cheliax, right? She isn't just Chelaxian. She actually was brought here from there.
Yes, you do recall that her family is based out of Cheliax, and she was kind of shipped away here to be the Emperor's child bride.
Yeah. That aside, problematic as that might be.
I feel like if she stopped at killing him, which she definitely did, we're all agreeing on that now, I assume, that would have been okay. I think. But
Would it
she
have been?
couldn't stop. Yeah, well, that's fine. I don't care. If she had just gone and been like an okay ruler, like whatever.
Oh.
But
It's okay if you
instead,
kill the other person as long as you're good after that. It's fine.
as long as it stops there, that you But
they never stop.
couldn't stop. Yeah, she had to keep going. That's there's a line.
There's a line. Yeah.
She just wandered over it.
I'm actually wondering if Cheliax sent her here to do this.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know about that as a motive, but we can look at her actions and say very clearly she has been trying to reshape the city
And weaken it. That's what's been striking me, is every action she's taken has not truly strengthened the city. It has weakened it by removing resources, by removing versatility, by dividing the citizenry. She's trying to weaken us for some reason. I am now wondering if it is for an invasion of some kind. Devil or Cheliax or something.
On the Cheliax angle, you would be aware. This doesn't this is just like extra context. That Cheliax, Korvosa is technically a colony of Cheliax, but in a very weird way, in that Cheliax just kind of stopped caring about it.
We're Australia.
Yeah,
we're a colony that they kind of said we can be our own thing, but you still obey us technically, but you don't actually, so it's fine.
Yeah, Cheliax is sufficiently far away that, I mean, they're not so far away, but they're far enough away that Korvosa is kind of viewed as just kind of a backwater, like, whatever, we don't care about it that much. So they were sort of left to their... Yeah, they were left to their own devices for a while, and that's sort of how the king, or like the royal line of Korvosa even happened, is they, like, I think Korvosa is not technically allowed to create their own nobility at all, but they just sort of were like, well, Cheliax isn't helping us or gonna do anything about it, so I guess we've got our own king now. Cool. And so it's I think in Korvosa's law books, technically they still consider themselves a vassal state, but Cheliax historically, it just hasn't seemed to care that much. So it'd be a very interesting change of dynamics for them to suddenly care, which is very possible. Maybe something's changed.
I don't know what's going on in Cheliax, so if they have reason to need Korvosan resources, then perhaps there is a reason for them to do this, but...
Yeah, I don't think any of you would have heard anything recently about any big events going on in Cheliax within the last year or so.
I don't think anything happens for another couple of years in Cheliax, but I don't know that yet, so...
Future lore.
It might just be like a her thing.
What was that? Sorry.
It might just be a her thing, like the queen.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I'm just gonna do
She could just be using what she knows from her time in Cheliax, plus what she's, picked up or learned here to decide to be the worst kind of tyrant. But I don't know what to do with her. And now that we've confirmed that Vencarlo's not where we expected him to be, possibly dead.
You can find
have
out
library.
if he's dead.
We have library we wanted to look at. We can try and determine if he's actually dead or see if we can track any information as to his whereabouts.
You may have forgotten you were told one additional thing about his whereabouts.
You were. He's at an artist, visiting an artist, or he was looking.
He was supposed to be visiting an artist friend, but
Yeah.
hasn't showed up since. So that'll be our first lead, I guess, besides the library.
Was
The
that
library is
thing
also
that you
always
were-
a good lead. You should always start at the library. Your local library is an incredibly important resource, so make sure to support your local library. Just saying.
Was that the thing you were trying to remind us of?
That's our Mayhem like turns to look at the camera.
Read books. They're all free. There's so many resources online.
And it's not even books
and
anymore.
offline.
Yeah, they've
Video
got all
games.
video games and movies and like cooking stuff. You can learn how to cook at a library. It's crazy. It's awesome.
I thought it was
Anyway.
so cool the first time I realized that like the library had like VHS tapes when I was a kid.
Right?
I was like, what?
But they have
You're only
DVDs.
supposed to
paying to
have
rent
books.
We're paying to rent these, and you can just get them for free at the library. What is this?
So get a library card today.
Yeah.
Support them.
All right. So you all go to sleep.
Yes.
We do.
It's like 5 in the morning currently, so we'll give you 8 hours of sleep.
Oh,
1,
shit, I have to
That's
do
1 o'clock.
spells.
2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and then an hour of daily prep. So it's like 2 p.m.
Big
As you're
sleep.
doing, once you're awake, you find Eamon has like prepared you all breakfast.
And it's ice cold because it's
Breakfast,
lunchtime.
lunch.
I mean, he also woke up late, so he just happened to wake up a little bit before you because he was already sleeping before the fire. Yeah, he's got a meal out for you. He's still shining for some reason. Turn off his light.
It's his inner light.
He's afraid of the dark.
And yeah, what would you like to do?
I'd like to use my
Um,
wand.
I think over the meal, I would start to like
Wait.
learn a little bit about this artist friend Van Carlo was supposed to visit.
That seems like a good place to start.
I don't know much about him. I think his name was Salvator, something like that. Then Carlo said he's good friends with him and wanted to commission a painting or something. He was kind of vague on the details, but he said it might interest you if you were to come around.
Do you happen to know whereabouts Salvador was supposed to be?
Yes. Is down by the Narrows, and he'll tell you the kind of rough address down here to the south.
Right on the waterfront.
But yeah, he lives in a shack by the waterfront, apparently. I've never been there nor met the man myself, but I'm afraid that's all I really have.
At least that gives us a lead to go after. But aside from Van Carlo going to see his old friend, what do you know about the I'm gonna use the word rioter, but like the people running around bashing things that we also saw as we were kind of exploring the streets last night.
Oh, those thugs?
Yeah.
They call themselves the Emperor's Men, but to be honest, I've tried to hold myself up here at home. I haven't really learned much about them.
What emperor?
Eamon shrugs. I've never heard of any Emperor.
When did they begin to start roaming the streets?
It was basically right when the lockdown started. Maybe even the same day. Things had already been pretty crazy out here in Old Corvosa when the plague started kicking in, and I think some people may have just lost their minds.
sounds about right. Do they seem to be denser in any one part of the city, or are they just an ever-present feature?
I haven't seen them too much around these parts. I have gone out to Bridgefront a couple of times for supplies, and they're very much in force over there.
Okay.
I think they tend to patrol the lower neighborhoods. It's probably where their bullying can get more done, I imagine. A lot of the homes and estates up here in the Fort Corvosa tend to have guards and the like that might not let them get their way so easily. But they have been getting bolder, I think.
Definitely. We saw them last night as we up near the academy as we were passing by it. It's crazy that this part of the city is still tearing itself apart while the cure is freely circulating on the other half.
A cure? There's a cure?
Yes. We've managed to cure the blood veil.
Do we have any on us?
Uh,
We have knowledge to make more, I'm sure, but
Yes, Regan knows how to make more. I don't know if any of you have any additional currently.
I thought we took at least some. Maybe we didn't. We know how to make it.
Is it in my dorm?
Is it in your dorm?
Maybe. I'll have to look through a bunch of crap. A bunch of alcohol.
Did you not sell the wine?
I sold some of it. I had a lot. I had like almost 50 bottles.
Shoot, what was his response? I forget.
I made the comment.
Oh, right, about the blood veil cure.
Yeah, more or less to shock him, because it'd be fun.
That's wonderful news. So many people here have... Well, it's been pretty bad. He looks down at his plate of food.
Well, we can help make some of the cure, given the supplies and opportunity, and hopefully it can do some good. But the bulk of supplies are understandably across the bridge. I don't understand why the Queen continues to keep this part of the city isolated.
It certainly beats me. One day, things were a bit scary, but mostly fine, and then the next, explosions, and all the bridges were coming down.
Near as you can tell, there was no inciting event before that. It just happened.
There were a few riots, I guess. Prior to that, people were getting desperate, I think, for any kind of cure, or some people were calling for the Queen's head, I imagine, but I don't think it enough to merit trapping us all here.
I remain confused. We're happy to help in any way we can, but
I've been lucky enough to have the money that my parents left me, but others haven't been so lucky, so if you see anyone who needs help, please.
Of course.
that's what we do. What do you know of this emperor, so-called?
Eamon shakes his head again. Never heard of the guy until a few weeks ago when these thugs started wandering around. But I've done my best to try and avoid them, especially after that incident with the torches. I try to avoid big crowds these days.
So it does seem like somebody we should have a conversation with at some point.
Yeah, at minimum, there's like some history to remind them of. Corvosa is a vassal state; it's not supposed to be able to have its own royalty.
Tell that to the queen. Eamon finishes his food and takes your plates and things to go clean them. If you need anything, I'll be here at my home. You're more than welcome to stop by and rest if you need. The door's always open. For you,
That's quite appreciated, actually. Thank you. But I think we have some business to attend to.
Yeah,
We
at minimum, we have an artist shack to go visit, and there are plenty of other mysteries this part of the city seems to be presenting us.
Well, as much as I know we would like to go to the library, as that is always an exciting time,
can do that anytime.
I'd have to say, I think we can do that anytime. We should probably check out this artist shack, though. What was the name again?
Salvador.
Salvador. Thank you.
You can give me a society check if you want.
Sure. Would I know Salvador?
What I know.
You can,
With
all or both
all-
or none, give society
Let's
check
all
rolls.
society.
Yeah,
And you can roll them publicly if you wish, or
Oh!
Are you
Oh.
so? Everyone's
Felix.
so smart. I want to roll too. Actually, you know what?
Felix is got
Oh,
his
I
finger
don't
on
know.
the pulse of the art scene here in Corvosa and knows every artist and every upcoming musician. I mean, which makes sense. As a bard, Felix would know this, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know art. You've kept the pulse on this sort of thing. Yeah. Now that you've said it a couple of times, it's Salvator with a T. Salvator Scream is his name. Sorry, am I? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. I think it's Salvator.
I don't know.
I shouldn't have tried to have him say it incorrectly. And I'm not
Screen
right,
or
but-
scream?
Scream with an M. M as in
It is
Nancy.
okay.
Wow.
That's what I wrote, and I thought
Whoa.
maybe I was mishearing it. So thank you for clarifying. Okay.
Damn.
Where's his stupid name? That's not it. Yes, Salvator. Yes, Salvator Scream.
Salvatore.
Sorry, I second guess myself sometimes. But yeah, Salvator Scream. He's a bit of an obscure artist. He is a local Corvosan. You didn't know he lived in Old Corvosa. He's like a fairly private figure, generally, but you are aware of his artwork. He's a bit more of like a... is impressionist the right word? Let me look at some impressionist art. Yeah, kind of an impressionist. Does a lot of very kind of avant-garde, very explicit, kind of borderline horror sort of artwork.
Eesh. Not the sort of thing
It's-
you'd display like in your public sitting room, but something maybe a little bit more private, but like something honored by the art community.
It's actually a weird mix. Like in the past couple of years, he's actually gained a lot of popularity among the noble class for being like a bit of a kind of a shock artist. Like, so people do sometimes put his art sort of front and center in their parlor rooms to kind of create a conversation piece. It's like having, I don't know, like a big explicit like nude painting in your
actually that
dining
makes
room.
sense. I was thinking like the gore would be kind of unsettling, but no, you're right that people do that with like nude portraits or just straight up porn being posted someplace as a, hey, look, it's art because I say so.
Yeah,
This feels like something the Carowinds would do for a party.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, in fact, if you think about it, you recall seeing the Salvator piece on the wall upstairs. It might have had some blood on it, but they had that like.
Was the blood part of the original piece, or was
All
that actually
unclear? Unclear, actually.
Oh dear.
But yeah, it's exactly the sort of piece that the Carowinds would have had. Very like, not all of his stuff is explicit and not all of it's like gory per se, but it does tend to deal with sort of dark themes. And yeah, they kind of seem to be like a bit sort of dreamy, kind of nightmarish artwork. But yeah, fairly well known in the art communities. Yes, he is an edgelord. A bit of an edgelord. The other two of you with the 20 and 24 haven't heard of him. Maybe you might have seen a piece of his, but you wouldn't have noticed it really or cared who it was.
Not much of an art guy. I don't know the
He's
Salvador.
not a writer. I don't care. Or a musician.
Has his work grown more disturbing over time? I'm trying to understand mentally how.
That's a good question.
How Vencarlo became friends with this person, and I want to be kind to Vencarlo and think that maybe they were friends of a younger era.
One, you're not sure if Vencarlo told Eamon the truth there. That he was friends with Salvator. That may very well have just been a cover to keep Eamon from looking into it.
Lies upon lies.
Salvator's art, with the natural 20, yeah. You would know that his art has always been kind of dark, and it's only gotten more dark in like the last few years. Like, it's had a progression to it.
Dude is spiraling and nobody's helping him out.
Yep, basically.
Just make money off of it.
Well, and he's getting a response now from the sort of art community that's giving him positive feedback for being darker, and so make a feedback loop out of it.
Yeah.
Well,
makes sense, just not great. Yes.
Yeah. At least we know what we're going to be walking towards as we head to this shack.
He's going to be so goth. He's just all dark black colors and dyed his hair raven black and probably some extra dark makeup.
And remember, you do know what Vencarlo was supposed to be doing in recent weeks, based on what Cresta told you.
Supposedly trying to track down where the what's his name? Seneschal or the Seneschal.
Neolandis.
Thank you. I had Togemore pulled up and I was like, that's the new one.
Yeah.
Togemore's
not
the new
same
one.
as the old one.
Seneschal Neolandis Calipopoulos.
Oh.
That's really a great name.
Calipopoulos.
All right, fair enough.
And hiding out with an
Milos?
artist in his shack in the Narrows in relative obscurity is totally a thing, but I don't know if that's necessarily where the Seneschal will be hiding or just a point on the path to it.
That's assuming the Seneschal lives. If the Queen replaced him, there's a good chance that she knows that he's to be replaced.
I'm gonna hold on to hope. If only because Togemore did not look pleasant.
mean, I agree with that, but the other side of it is, if the seneschal comes back, is the queen going to care?
She's gonna kill him.
She got hit in the temple with an arrow at point blank range. I don't know what else we can do beyond. I don't know. It's a little concerning. Anyway, to this artist?
Yeah, to the artist.
All right. What route would you like to take?
Oh, let's see.
So you've got to go south, down to the Narrows, to the shack. The quickest way would be to go west out of Fort Corvosa and then down through the slums, basically kind of through the various alleyways and stuff.
I
And you
do
had a
love that
roughly
there's
straight
this
line down there.
there's this road that doesn't actually connect with the road just south of it. It just curves and then goes east, and you have to like technically go around the whole neighborhood to come back, or we just cut through somebody's yard.
There are these are sort of the main roads that. These are main roads on the map. There are alleys between the buildings, and you can always take the shingles. You can always climb up the buildings and take the shingles route through them. But yes, there's alleyways through these things. So yes, you can go this way, the west route, or you could take the long eastern route around the opposite side.
A part of me wants to go the west way just to see how House Arcona itself has been preserved or not preserved amidst this chaos. But it's also literally around the corner. We could look at that just as well go east if that's the way y'all want to go.
I think we're best off just cutting through the fastest route. So if we want to go around to the west, around this giant wall, then head south and cut through the neighborhoods, the alleys and stuff.
Seems like a plan. We'll try and cut a line straight south and find an opportunistic alley.
Are we going stealthy? Do we want to try and hide from like people, or are we just gonna walk around like regular people?
That was my next question.
Oh.
What's your approach?
I feel like we have seen great examples that the strangers that we run into on the streets are not kind. I would kind of prefer to avoid them unless Mayhem, bringer of justice, wants to go waltzing around looking for trouble.
I don't walk around looking for trouble. I find it. It already existed.
It finds you.
I just needed to locate it.
Well, I have
the only mayhem allowed in this city is me. In the meantime, I think we'll avoid notice as much as possible, but Mayhem is keeping an ear out to see if there's any major mobs wandering around to keep an eye on. Avoid / actually, if there's a mob going after people, may need to interfere, but generally trying to avoid.
But you're generally trying to avoid notice and stick to alleyways and keep a low profile as you move through the streets. Okay. Yeah, at this point in the afternoon, as you're moving down the streets, you do pass by House Arcona, which is the main residence of House Arcona. They are set up in the inner walls of Old Fort Corvosa, where the outer walls are primarily made of wood and have long fallen to disrepair over time, and are partially reinforced with stone here and there to keep them from collapsing onto the houses below. Most of it was destroyed in the Great Fire. The inner walls, however, have been replaced with stone in order to protect the Great House Arcona. And outside, you can see that they've clearly got a squad of 10 guards standing out front of their gates, making sure that no one comes in. But you're able to keep your distance and make your way past them and down through you go down a hill towards the lower slope, and down into, I guess this is called Bridgefront, or not? It's not Bridgefront. What is this called? I guess it is kind of Bridgefront. Yeah, Bridgefront. Okay. Yeah, you head down into the Bridgefront district, which is just kind of the lower southern slums. And around here, you definitely see there's still signs of like people being scared. If they hear noises, you hear like doors shutting, windows closing. You do hear a gang of people. Looks like there's like 4 of them in a cluster, carrying. They've got shields and hatchets, and they're just occasionally they're laughing loudly. They're banging on their shields, and occasionally like slamming a hatchet into like a fence post or something. And I don't think I showed you what these guys look like, but I can. Where'd they go? It's more of the Emperor's thugs that are about. They're all kind of generally gruff-looking, a little wild-eyed. They're clearly looking for trouble.
Yeah, Shields would toss one of these assholes out instantly.
Yeah, you imagine so. But since you're keeping to these shadows, they don't seem to notice you, and pass you on by. As you continue.
Can I sip a potion as we walk? I'm just
Certainly.
looking at my hit points.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you need help?
Yeah, I think you guys got some healing overnight, but did not have a chance
We were
to
hurt. It was rough.
fully treat wounds.
It was a rough evening. But I'm better now.
You sip some potions. You're back at full health at 92. Mayhem's at 80 of 104.
Yep.
And Regan's at 64 of 64.
I can sew you up.
If you want to while we're going, or if you want to pause for a few minutes, that's fine. But I've only got a couple potions. I'm holding on to them for the moment because, yeah.
Here, let me help you.
Okay, you like stop in there's like a parklet. It's basically just a tree in between a couple of houses where there's weirdly just enough space for like a small bench. And yeah, you take a seat, chill for a little bit. That 27 is a success on the DC 20 and gets 26 healing upgraded to 34.
And no longer
which is
wounded,
enough.
finally.
Yay. All right. So yeah, you patch up his wounds from the previous night. And as you're sitting there, eventually, as you're like wrapping up the wound treating, an old woman is walking by, and she turns and sees you. Hello, please. Won't you buy a flower? And she approaches you, and she's carrying like a basket, like a wicker basket, and she's got some like roses in there and a variety of what look like mushrooms. I'll show you what she looks like. She's just an old Varisian woman. Hair has gone completely white. She looks very frail. Please, a flower for a copper.
Not so much that I'm sus, but I'm a little sus.
I mean, you could be the sus one, and I can give her the copper.
You go ahead. I'm also kind of busy right now. Regan's taking care of things, so.
Yeah, while an episode of MASH plays out in the background, I'll go up to the old woman and offer her a copper for a flower. Maybe take a look at what the mushrooms are.
Thank you, young man. Would you like some mushrooms as well? These are hand-picked. They make very good pigments. And you look, and she's got a variety of little colorful mushrooms in there that could probably be grinded up for making pigments for like art supplies and that sort of thing.
Any money that you could spare would be good. My family hasn't been doing so well with the disease. I'm trying to support them.
Oh, I understand. Do I like? Do the mushrooms appear in good enough condition that you can actually make dyes out of them, or is like I guess
They
what I'm
look-
asking for is like like a bit of an insight check to make sure I'm not being outright scammed.
No, you're not being scammed. These look like the appropriate mushrooms that you would use for such a thing. They're a little dull though. Like they're not the brightest looking. They might give you less vibrant colors than if you were to get fresh ones. You get the feeling that people haven't been buying these, like who's doing art right now.
Yeah.
It looks like she's kind of desperate though, and it's just kind of trying anything she can.
I'll pick out the 3 that look the best and ask her for her price.
Oh, just a copper each, please.
No problem. I'll give her
Thank you.
3
Thank
more
you, sir.
copper.
Thank you. With this, I hope I'll be able to support them until the veil passes. Yes.
And then she kind of tucks the remaining things that you'd pick back into the basket, sort of covers it over.
Good evening. Farewell.
And she kind of
Farewell.
slowly walks away. Oh, fuck.
How can we help you?
How can we help you? Well,
Google.
I hit the wrong
Yeah.
button. I hit like F1 or something.
Yeah, that's surely what it was.
I have to start making more of those.
I was just thinking that.
I need an alchemist's
Lab, we
setup.
don't have one. We also will need blood of
It'll
one
be
of
okay,
those.
Susan.
I have blood.
She says, she's just kind of mumbling to herself
There she
under her
go.
breath as she.
What did she say her name was? Susan?
Susan.
Susie?
Susan.
Susan.
Does she wander out of sight, or can I see what building she goes into?
Yeah, you can see what building she goes towards. She makes it to like a corner up here to the north and reaches an old-looking kind of shack, and fumbles around a bit for her key, unlocks it, and goes in.
I'll try to remember this place for when we actually get to distributing the cure for Blood Veil to any extent.
When we're done dealing with the immediate, which is tracking Van Carlo, we should actually track down an alchemist that we can recruit to produce this.
Just a reminder, we can go walk back to our alchemy lab whenever we damn well please.
It's true.
Our alchemy lab on the other side of the river.
Through
The door.
holds up a piece of chalk. At
That's
the other
true.
side of any door we draw.
That's true. Is there any convenience for us using that now? Should we just go get some? I mean, I guess it takes time, but to make. But if there's some ready,
Maybe tonight.
Maybe yeah.
maybe tonight.
It's
Maybe
not
we'll wait.
sort of thing we
That's fine.
shouldn't like draw a door, random piece of like sidewalk
Going to
or something.
Susan's house. Be like,
I
"Can
mean,
we
you say
draw
that, but
door here.
To be honest, there's something kind of quality about doing it someplace random rather than choosing someplace intentional. People can suss out intentionality. It's real hard to suss out randomness.
We should just do it and then have every single person in Old Corvosa use the door to go into New Corvosa because there's no downside to doing that at all. Nothing will go wrong.
Oh, absolutely not.
We're just gonna move the entire population of
Yeah,
Old
who's
Corvosa
really
into the
fucking
rest.
mad? Like, get them all over there. It's gonna be great.
Well, let's just take us to the next
That's
step. And
Like
we move the
X.
other side from inside of the bar, and Mayhem goes and breaks into the palace and draws the door on the inside of a wall
Yeah.
there.
We should have
And they
thought of
all
this
go
along.
in.
We can just have the riders go after the queen, and I'm sure they'll be able to take care of the lady who survived an arrow to
They
the head.
can't kill them all.
Oh
If they
man,
swarm her.
the mischief that we can get up to with this.
I feel like that's not going to work out in our favor.
If we're desperate, that's what we should do. But we're not desperate yet.
But
We're-
I do think if tonight we can go back and get some more of the serum to cure the plague. That would be useful at the very least for the people that we're talking to, but also the more we can spread,
Definitely.
better
Like-
off everyone will be.
I don't
Our
even know
friend-
that we have to sit
Yeah.
and make it. Nia had it for sale.
And there's also if we can eventually find someone on this side and just be like, here's how you make it. Have fun. Who seems trustworthy? Maybe we could tell Tuggin.
Yeah, no, Tuggins has
right.
the industrial base, and
Mhm.
this is how he comes to rule Old Corvosa.
Lots of good ideas, I think.
The Tuggin
They-
story arc is going to happen.
They did have a effective drug factory over in.
Oh my god, they did. That was really bad, but we can help them. Well, I took their kit. That's the thing. I
Oh,
think.
that's true. Yeah, you took.
Yeah.
their stuff.
So, oops.
Uh,
We'll figure it
Eel's
out.
End. That's the name of the place. Okay.
Yeah, Eel's End. Regan, this idea is not a bad idea. We can revive this industrial base.
Instead of making drugs, they can make drugs.
Yes, we continue walking as we discuss how we're going to build our drug empire.
All right. Let's see. As you're continuing to walk, you pass by a group of children who are you don't see them at first, but you hear them, and you're like, where are they? And you realize they're up above you, and you can see up on one of the rooftops in like a little shanty tent that someone has built up there. There's a group of maybe like a dozen children or so that are all kind of gathered together in a circle or around something. You're not sure what. And you hear them singing. Headless, headless, that's what you'll be. Brand new dolls in the Emperor's cemetery. Choppy chop, choppy chop, choppy chop. The tall knife lands, waiting for the day for Corvosa to fall. And they sing that on a loop, somewhat endlessly.
That was my favorite song as a child.
I probably should have thought of a melody before starting that, but I didn't.
Creepy children.
Yeah, I am taken aback by the macabre nature of this song, but there's like to pick apart the things in it, like the Emperor is plotting the downfall of Corvosa.
It sounds like it.
Cool.
Plotting or exploiting? Happy about it? Regardless, not good. Not great.
Good. Not great.
You hear them all laugh as there's like some kind of sound of like maybe tearing sound, and like a doll's head comes tumbling off the roof.
Well, that's okay.
The children aren't all right.
No, they aren't.
And you keep walking?
Yeah, no, we're
Yeah,
getting.
I'm not gonna talk to those.
I was gonna say,
I-
let me go to the children and explain why this is probably not the way they should be spending their spare time.
Excuse me, children.
Yes, so far in this walk, Jason, you've taken like 4 of our copper in exchange for some mushrooms I can't find in the compendium, and exposed us to a horrifying children's song.
They're just mushrooms.
Sweet mushrooms. Hell yeah. Mushroom.
No.
Here, I'll give you. Let's see.
No,
give
like you are building a
Treasure.
aesthetic for old Corvosa, and like A+ job, creepy as hell.
Pigment
sad.
mushrooms.
Everyone's doing real bad. The children are ripping heads off dolls, which actually is the most normal feeling. The song, not so much. No.
It also sort of implies to me that some people have chosen to like be protected by this emperor because, you know, the parents told their kids who decided to make a song out of it while ripping the heads off dolls.
All right, I
As you
put
do.
some pigment mushrooms in your
Oh,
inventory.
no wonder
It's
this
okay.
artist is weird.
Is he
Uh,
tasting his pigment mushrooms?
I am not
No,
tasting
I
my
just-
pigment mushrooms.
I just see the environment, and I think,
Nah.
well, sure.
I think these are special pigment mushrooms, that's all. They're very useful for pigment and other things.
If you eat them,
If
do
you
they
want to
turn
eat
your
them
mouth,
later,
like
I do love the idea that there's just like a generic artist mushroom, and the artist mushroom is one that's used for pigments, but yes, if you also eat it, it makes you freaking high.
woo,
Multi-use.
and everyone can tell because your like whole mouth is blue.
It's got to be something obvious like that. Yes. You're just walking around with like blue covering your mouth and lips and everything. It's just like
Blue all the way through for days.
he's on the shrooms.
Mm.
Shoot, I just realized I messed up the lighting on this map. One sec.
Fine. We're making our own fun.
Mayhem's actually had his nose when he's had some time to be reading Freedom Sting. Because he's kind of curious as to what guides Blackjack.
I like that he's reading.
You think Tully doesn't read?
That's not what I said. I like that he's
I know,
engaging
I know.
with literature.
Literature. I mean, it's religious literature, so I don't know how much Regan is on board with that.
She's fine with most religion, just not one. It's
Fair
not
enough.
Faraz. Well, she's fine to like. She has a line, but she's not like, God, it sucks. Just Pharasma sucks.
Only Pharasmans suck. All the others are fine.
The evil ones are fine still.
is being Blackjack a religion?
Not exactly. I don't
figured
think
that,
so, at least.
That would just be more like a hobby?
There are certain ideals that we follow, or that one would follow as Blackjack, I imagine. But also, most people in the world are religious because the gods are real. How strongly they practice and how much they pay fealty is a whole different thing. But we all know the gods exist. We just don't know. It's just a question of whether we care to acknowledge their interference in our lives or not. Asher was an atheist because Asher didn't care for the gods, not because Asher didn't think the gods existed.
He did not like them and thought that it was silly to.
It's like they can go fuck off. We don't need them. They're fine. And kind of in that story, we kind of didn't need them, did we? It was very much so
No.
a.
Well,
Gun got all the gods.
That was a
stuff.
much more moral story than a godly story. So
I mean, Gun's God loved him, so
That's
that
true,
was-
that's
true.
true.
You
Let's
did,
not-
you did have help from one particular
Erastil was
god.
on board with us. Erastil, the god of staying home and not doing anything, was super on board with us going out and adventuring and taking care of things so we could stay home and do nothing later.
Well,
Yeah.
to protect the community, but
That's what I'm saying. He was on board with us going out and adventuring for the greater good. He knows what's up.
If a god
Uh,
sees what I'm doing and thinks that's cool, here, have a boon. I'll say thank you. Asher would not have said thank you.
No,
He would have
Should've
been like, "Get this away from me."
fuck off. I don't want this. I didn't ask for
Wow.
this. We got this.
It's like, oh, you're here now.
Where were you
Yeah.
before?
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
okay.
We've vamped enough for Jason.
Yes, thank you.
Ooh,
Uh,
Jackie.
all right, so you arrive at the artist's shack. So you are at the basically right at the edge of the Narrows. You can see that this where's my cursor? Here it is.
There was
This
a
building
shack
over
here.
here, the building on to the east appears to be the right address. This house right next to it seems to have collapsed into the water.
Oh.
Something's happened, and like the walls have fallen apart, furniture is all broken, and it almost looks like an explosion has happened here.
Wow.
And even part of the actual like docks, the walkway that runs along the southern edge of the Narrows, even that's pretty badly messed up.
Does it look recent? I don't know how you-
It was probably a house that had been in disrepair for some time, but given the state of things, you imagine it must have been relatively recent. Like it's
Okay.
not overgrown.
Mm.
Is it is it more of explosion or fire? Because like I've seen people lighting fire to stuff as of recent. That would sort of fit. An explosion would be new and unique.
Okay, you approach at least towards where you think the front door might have been at some point, and you actually turn and realize that it's like some like 30 feet north of you, and there are some pretty bad scorch marks here. This looks like it could have been a fire, or at least a fire probably did happen here.
But like, are parts of it flung out of place? Because
Yes, parts
Okay.
of it are flung. So maybe a fire and an explosion.
I mean, there's no law against both.
Oh, like together.
Yeah.
I'm like, certainly there's laws against both of those things happening.
No, like
Yeah.
like one can
Yeah,
certainly
at the same time.
one can certainly like induce the other in whichever order you'd like to imagine.
Yeah. But the other shack's okay.
Yeah, but the other sack seems okay.
Do you think this might be like an artistic thing?
I don't know. Is there a tiny little plaque giving the work a name?
Everything is transitory, so we build things just to tear them down later. That sort of art style.
The beauty is in how temporary it was.
The transitory nature of things, yes.
Mhm. Like a drawing in the
No,
sand.
you do not see an art
Okay.
plaque.
So this isn't an artsy thing. Reagan's like, I don't really know. Like,
Tully has no idea what the fuck you're talking about, Regan.
Maybe.
Felix shakes his head. No, if you were to make some kind of statement like that, you would go through the effort of making a statement. This just looks like destruction.
That's true. 'Cause he said he was a weird artist.
Do you take a closer look at all, or are you just walking around it?
I'm walking back and walking around it. Heading
Whenever
towards
you
the-
say that,
It
I
doesn't-
get suspicious.
Do you want to? You should take a closer look.
No, I
You
don't
go
care
right
about his
ahead.
weird art.
Yeah, I already looked. I
don't know.
determined that it was an explosion fire.
Well, what kind of explosion? Like, did you find residue?
The alchemist should look.
I'm not even okay. I'm gonna go. Someone's lazy.
Someone was trying to get other people to look, but no. Regan has to do
Fine.
it herself.
You know what? I'll look. I'll smell the ground. She gets down and is like
Sniff,
looking
sniff.
around. What's?
Just the
Sniff,
I don't know if I have the right skill.
the most blatant, like, obvious sniffing that cats do. Just like,
Yeah. Makes the weird face like.
what is that? That's the
So,
thing
like-
that they do because it helps their olfactory sensors to pick up smells. Other animals do that too. It just
That's what she said.
I'm gonna say
Yeah, what is that?
either survival or crafting, perhaps.
Let's see.
Survival will be
crafting.
easier than crafting, but
My crafting is higher. I'm gonna try crafting because that makes to me more sense with her. And if she fails, it's Felix's fault. I'll do a blind roll.
Okay.
Question marks.
Okay. Yeah, and you're just doing this from like the door, the like sort of entryway space here.
No.
Yeah, you kind of kneel down, kind of smell at the ground, look at the kind of residue that's here. Like the roof is like collapsed in on this place. The roof seemed pretty rickety in the first place, or seems like it was probably a pretty rickety roof in the first place. But there is a residue here from whatever explosion happened, and it's pretty foul smelling. And you realize pretty quickly that is very similar to the kind of scent, the sort of general scent of the sewers.
Ooh.
And this might have been, like, looking at this indentation here of the house that where the water has seeped in. This house might have had a vent underneath it, and that led into the sewers, and something might have ignited, like there might have been some gas coming up from the sewer, and something might have ignited that and caused an explosion.
So it could have potentially been an accident because there was a gas leak. Is there still gas, or is it just that's just what's left over?
That's the little bit of residue you get here at the entryway. You'd have to probably look around more or get closer to it to tell.
I'm gonna get a little closer, but testing the floorboards to make sure she's not going to fall in. She's gonna be very studious about that.
Okay.
Creative.
Yeah, you carefully step over the floorboards, and it seems like the foundation here is at least sturdy enough. And yeah, as you kind of approach the water, there you do kind of get that smell. It does still seem like there's a little bit of that kind of gas in the air. But it vastly that's probably not enough to be explosive. But if there's that much even through the water, you imagine it was probably pretty strong at some point. And that's when.
No. It's always me by the water. It's always me by the water. Stop it, Jason.
Suddenly, something massive slithers out of the water towards your leg.
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna need you all to roll initiative, please.
No. I hate the water. The water's so bad. Oh no.
Alright, solid.
How did I roll that right?
2.
That's not fair. And out. Fix your initiative order there. That was a 26. Okay. Cool. Well, first we have the mysterious thing rolled a 38. Then Mayhem with a 32, Regan with a 26, Felix with a 21. Combat start.
I'm never going near the water again. It's the third time.
You weren't even in the water. You were next to the water.
Yeah, you're next to the water.
Always
You were
next to
adjacent.
the water. And then I get dragged into the water. And then
So, As you are like turning to walk away, this like some kind of like grassy green, like almost seaweed like tentacle comes slithering out of the water to like kind of slap at you. And that is this. That's 2. Okay. That's that. All right. So that is an attack. That is a 29 to hit Regan.
Does hit Regan.
Does hit. Your AC is 24.
Is 20.
That's
Ah.
great.
That is 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Right. Owie.
And I need a fortitude save.
Fine. Okay. We will
Fortitude.
roll it. A 20 is a failure.
That is
Oh.
a number. Okay. Then let me actually reveal the thing. And then it kind of like you see like this mound of water part as this thing rises up out of the bay. And I'll show you all a big picture of it. It's basically a
What?
big mound of trash. You've fought one of these before, but a lesser version, the Ofal. These are the filthy, like, trash monsters that live in the sewers eating the
Ooh.
trash of Corvosa.
Sorry, is this
So-
the 4th time that this has happened to me? I forgot that one.
Yes, perhaps even from the same creature.
I hate
All right. So yeah, it attacked you. It's like rising, and then it will do one more kind of slap at you. That's a 23 though, which will miss you by 1.
Good.
Mayhem.
I was not prepared for this. Mayhem was just kind of looking at the building when all of a sudden shit happened. So he will draw
Yeah, you were like
the.
approaching the doorway.
Yeah, I was approaching the doorway. So he's actually going to draw his greatsword, or his bastard sword, excuse me,
Ooh.
because this thing doesn't look like it's going to be a thing to worry about keeping alive. So we'll interact to do that. Or second action will be to close distance. No problem.
Yeah, there's plenty of space.
Is any of
Run
this
through the
difficult
rubble.
terrain though? I should check.
Where were
This does
you?
look kind
I'd
of
say like
rough.
one space is probably difficult terrain. So, what's your speed?
30. So if only one
30?
space, then fine.
Yeah, only one space would be difficult terrain, so you have enough speed to get there.
Okay, perfect, just enough. And we'll close in, and we'll take a quick swing at this thing to get it off of Regan. Buttons everywhere. That is a 37 to hit.
That will
Doesn't
hit.
look like a
But
crit.
first, give me a not will save, a fortitude save, please, before you.
Is it this
Roll that.
this airborne or inhaled?
This is airborne inhaled. This is its foul
Okay.
smell as you get close
So,
to it.
As I'm still wearing my mask, but that's a natural 2 for total 17, so not great.
Ooh, that is a crit failure.
Okay, that's how it's gonna be.
Yep, you are sickened 1 and slowed 1. It
Ew,
is
yuck.
that nasty. As long as you're within 30 feet of it, it is
Cool.
disgusting. But continue. That did hit. So roll damage.
All right.
Or you're slowed as long as you're sickened.
Right, sure. And slow to takes effect on the next round. So,
Yes, correct.
28 points of slashing and void damage as
Oh,
Mayhem
yes.
just kind of pulls the sword off of his back and charges in to slash at this thing, one-handed.
And this thing is alive. And we'll take all of that 28 points of damage, and the parts of it where the sword connects you see like it leaves a trail of decay behind on this creature's body. It's almost plant-like in nature, but it can't. Maybe not. It's a weird combination of just a lot of garbage. Sorry, were there any more actions left?
Nope, that is it.
Draw, move, strike. Okay. Regan and then Felix.
Ugh, I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Because you started your turn, I need a fortitude save from you.
Okay.
Stench.
Yeah, so I was going slow. I was like, do you need me to do something? Okay. Here we go. We are roll. Ooh.
No, the dice. Why?
15.
Natural 2 for a 14 is also a critical failure. You are also sickened and slowed as long as you are sickened.
Okay.
So your actions are normal for this turn, so you still get your 3 actions, but remaining turns... Oh, actually. Well, yeah, fine. Yeah. Future turns, as long as you're sickened, you lose an action.
Okay, so first I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15,
Back away from the foul-smelling creature.
25. Hold on, let me do some kitty cat math.
And likewise, one of those spaces, this one is difficult terrain, but you have Long Strider or Tailwind on, so
I've
you
just
are plenty
done.
fast enough to get around it.
Yeah, 25, so I say this 30, so I can get here. So that's 1 action. I will use a second action to try and... Wait, do I have a thing? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Gosh. Wait. Well, we'll try and remove the sicken by normal means for now.
All right. So take an action to attempt to remove it. You just gotta cough. 14 save.
A 6.
6 is not good enough. Stench is absolutely foul.
You just vomiting in the corner.
Disgusting. Can I try it again?
Yeah, you can spend as many
Okay.
actions as you want on it.
I didn't know
Well,
if
do you
I-
have the
like-
actions to spend though? Because you moved and then you retched, and
You
you're slow.
moved, you retched, you have 1 action left. The slow will kick in next round.
Oh, it just took. My bad. It
Yeah,
just
yeah.
took. My apologies. Get rid of it if you can.
Yeah, I will try.
It's not gonna be good.
And then I will read my sheet. So,
Ooh.
a 19.
It's not a flat check, right?
Oh, it's
Second?
not.
It's actually a fortitude save. What's your fort
My bad.
bonus? Is plus 12.
That's
So
11.
19
31?
plus 12 is 31. Versus this DC, that is a success.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
tell me that's a failure. Tell me right now that's.
Yeah,
a
I'm
failure.
like, well, I give
Based
up.
on- Based on
Never
your last
roll
fort
again.
saving throw, I think you also get a +1 from your robes.
That should be included.
Oh,
in
that's
the,
included
the
in the
plus
12 there.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
Let me just double check that the 6 wasn't
My
a
bad.
success either. 6 plus 12. No, okay. Okay, so yes, on your third action, you are able to like acclimate yourself to the stench.
Oh, it's not so
You're no longer
bad.
sickened and slowed. Felix,
Okay,
I need a
woo.
fortitude save from you as well.
I thought I
your
was
turn.
far enough away from this monster.
No, as it's risen, you are all technically in its
We're all
range at the
we're all
start
here
of the
together.
turn. Yeah,
Thanks. I hate it.
nasty.
it's a 30-foot stench. It's nasty. 19 is a failure. I think you are just sickened 1, but not slowed.
Ew. Between the dry heaves, I'm gonna try and play a rallying anthem. With lingering composition. So here's the performance check. Let's see how well I can perform while vomiting.
Hey, that's a good number.
Okay. Natural 18 for 31. That is pretty good. What level are you guys? 8?
Yep.
At some point, I'll remember your DC for level 8. 8's 24, so that's a success.
So 3 rounds of it.
Yep.
Cool. And then I'm gonna try to daze this creature. So we'll give one of these things a roll. It needs to do a DC 25 will save.
On a 37, that is a crit success. You try to daze this creature's mind, but you're not sure where its mind is located. It doesn't look immune, but it seemed to just completely... Its mind seems completely alien to you. It seems unaffected. But you have 1 action left. Oh, sorry, no, you did Rallying Anthem first.
Yeah, that was rallying it. No,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
3
yeah.
actions. Now I'm just sick and sad behind a tree.
Indeed.
Just sick and sad.
The Ophalth, with its foul, stenchy stench, is going to...
Stay exactly where it is and come no closer.
Okay. Here it will strike at Mayhem with its... it's actually going to take one of the... It's got like these big, massive, kind of trunky fists. It's going to take one of those and just kind of punch you.
That is a critical hit.
Oh,
Ow.
39, that is a crit.
Yikes.
Stinky.
It hits you hard for 44 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's like a third of my health. It's fine. Oh. There we go.
And then it's going to, with its other hand, it's going to kind of like pull at like some kind of large chunk off of it that you initially thought was part of its body, but it's actually just like a big collection of like excrement. And it's going to chuck it at Regan.
Stop.
Is this a range attack?
It is a ranged attack.
I'm going to try and hit it.
Okay.
I don't like that it
Covered
just
in poop.
tried to hit Reagan.
Oh, it's oh.
28 to hit. Probably isn't going to do great.
28 is going to miss, unfortunately.
That's what I thought.
Oh, did it have... Oh, that should not be a bonus anymore, but that will still not hit. Yeah, 28 does not hit. So you swing at it, you kind of scrape at some of the trash on it, tearing some trash away, while it just hurls this glob of shit at Reagan. That 29 will hit. And here's the damage for it. 19 points of bludgeoning to Reagan. And, oh, I need a fortitude save from Mayhem for the initial slam attack.
Oh, okay. I'm going to hero point it because I'm just tired. It's a little better. 27.
Okay, that seems all right. And so let's attack, throw. It is then going to kind of like 5, 10, 15. Well, maybe not that way. We gotta go this way. 5, 10. It just kind of lumbers up out of the water onto the ground here. As it drags a pile of trash with it. You hear a door opening from this house, the artist's shack here. And a figure steps out.
Oh gosh, what's going on?
A woman runs out. She's got a beautiful
That's an
smile on her face. She seems very excited. She's an elven woman, pale skin, long black hair, wearing what appears to be like very heavily spiked metal armor.
Oh gosh, oh golly, oh gee, what's that?
She says as she sees this massive creature towering over you, Mayhem.
Oh, that's no good at all. Oh,
And she's going to where is she? She pulls out a chain and like twirls it around her head. And then like slams it down onto the ground, and there's a ripple of energy that goes towards this this creature. Ooh. And she will cast a spell as some void damage comes out. Oh, the creature actually needs to roll a save, of course. Where's my saves? Hey, that's a pretty low save. Okay, that is a failure, so it will take full damage. It takes 21 points of void damage as this ripple of energy rips through it. Mayhem, your turn.
Great. Fuck if I know what to do. Besides stab this thing, I guess, but I'm feeling pretty awful. Don't like wasting a turn or an action to do this, but I'm going to try and vomit and see if I can feel any better. Just a fortitude save, I believe.
Yep, fortitude save.
That's a mid-roll, and that's probably not going to do it. 24.
Is 24 going to do it? Let's see. That is not going to do it. That is a failure.
That's what I thought. Then we'll just take a slice at this thing and see if we can do any damage.
Yeah,
I might
she
just be
needed to
fucked.
roll hers. Ah, okay. That's fine.
Oh my god, dice. Okay. 29 is still not a good number.
Yep, 29 is going to miss.
So at least a 30
Great.
AC at this point. Cool. But that's it.
Okay.
You just
Regan.
Can't wait.
Oh, whoops.
You skipped me.
I use the enter button.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. We'll always use the intern button. No one else ever does.
No one else does.
So
it just
I'm always pressing the intern button for people. No, it's fine. It's totally fine.
There's an intern button.
That's the exact response.
I just would like a circle just so I can measure. Jesus. Okay. Where is it going? Oh, is this a wall? I see.
Oh yes, there's like the remnants of this wall here.
This is good. This won't kill anybody. But the thing I'm trying to hit. I don't know if this will work. Anyway, I'm sorry, everyone. Regan takes a scroll off her. I have a list of them on me. Not out of her bag, but off of her body, and cast fireball here. So Mayhem's not getting it. I'm protected by the tree, but Janko is protected by not being it. Felix is over here, and she's down there. And the math works out.
All right.
We'll scream if this thing's immune to fire, but
I'll roll the reflex save. That is not great. That is a 24. That is a failure. Go ahead and roll damage and add an extra 46.
oh, the roll damage isn't clicking again. So I just do
Roll 66 plus
6
46.
That's a nice fireball.
6. Can you do it this way? Okay, you can do it that way. 33.
All right. Yeah, you pull out the scroll, cast the spell. There's a burst of flame, and it's a bit more powerful because there is still some of that lingering gas in the area. And it will fully take all 33 points of that fire damage.
Thank goodness. I was worried. That's everything. That's my whole turn.
All right.
You want me to leave it up, or do you want like the circle, or?
Oh, you can remove the
Away.
circle.
Okay, cool. Oops.
Felix, your turn.
I'm gonna take out my mandolin and through it cast Phantom Prison. Phantom Prison will make this creature believe it is in a tiny little box. Every time it attempts to interact with the outside world, it has to make a check to see if it can get through this illusion. Otherwise, it can't do bad things to people anymore. There's this.
Oh, yeah. And the will save only happens...
When the spell
it
is
can
cast,
attempt a will save. Okay.
Yeah, the target can attempt a will save when the spell is cast, and each time it attempts to interact with or escape the walls, and each time something from outside the walls affects the target.
Okay. And what rank are you casting it at?
It is 3rd rank on the mandolin.
Okay. It is an incapacitation spell, which means that if this creature is higher than like double the spell's rank, so like 6 or 7, then it gets a higher result. But here we go. Let's see what we get. If I do have to actually click the button. There we go. 23. What's your spell DC?
I wish I could answer that question.
Spell
quickly.
DC is 24. So that would be a failure. That unfortunately makes that a success. Because it is higher level than the spell. Yeah, okay.
Oh, it sees through my illusion then.
Yep. Sadly. It does it seems to not care about the box.
Oh well. I do not know that particular fact about incapacitation spells. Now I know. Knowing
Yeah.
is half the battle.
Incapacitation spells are quite good. They're very strong on anything lower level than you, basically, if you're casting them in max spell rank. So yeah, unfortunate. Sorry. But all right, you try to enclose it in a box, and it's briefly kind of compressed, and then it just kind of breaks through it, and the illusory glass shatters. The creature is now going to how smart is it actually? It's actually not that smart. Okay. So it will first try to punch at Mayhem again, since he's still here. Kind of swats at you. Ooh,
My
with a
goodness.
43. That will crit.
You're muted,
I think
Will,
you're
but
muted.
I assume you're
It's probably for the best because there was some swearing involved in that. So
Okay.
I'll
As a
leave him on it.
58.
It's fine.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
this thing has a
Bludgeoning
huge
damage.
modifier to its hit. It is murdering me.
Jeez.
Yikes.
And then it turns and is hurling more awful at Regan.
Stop. I can't. Ah.
18 is going to miss, and then
I'm
it's
gonna
going
try
to
and
do the
hit
same.
it for doing that.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Now that it matters because I can't roll tonight
God.
either. So just gonna let that go.
Yeah, 20
You're fine.
will miss, and then it will turn and try to hurl more awful at Felix. 26 will hit, but only because of Sickened.
Ah,
Just barely. 24 points of bludgeoning damage. It is hurling shit your way, and I need a fortitude save. Hey, natural 20 for 32.
That's a good
you're
one.
Unaffected by whatever that is.
holding my nose.
Oh dear, that looked like that hurt.
The woman exclaims.
Do it again.
And she will cast a spell. Actually,
I swear to God, if she kills me, that's gonna be so funny, but also terrible.
she releases a hand from the chain to draw something from her like her belt. It's this like gnarly looking spiked baton. And she kind of like taps it a few times and then shakes it in your direction. And you feel a kind of like a pinch of like, at first it's like searing pain, and then there's a release, and your wounds heal. Let's see if she cast it. Here you go. Have some 2-action healing.
Oh,
72 points of healing.
that is quite substantial.
Oh,
Little
good, it
sting there,
worked. Oh, the sting is how you know it's working.
Oh my god.
Okay. Fuck. So I need to get rid of this sickened condition. It is murdering me. I also need to get away from this thing. It is also murdering me. Let's try to get rid of the sickened condition again to start with. And that's a natural 1 because I can't roll tonight. That's a hero point. And that's a 7, so that fails too. So second action is going to be to try and move away for 30 feet. I'm just going to go back to where I started this whole combat at, right over here. And that's my turn.
All right.
I'll let you switch rounds this time.
Try to back away. Regan.
Yeah. We're all feeling
I feel blip, blip. Give me 1 second to measure. Okay, so first maybe not. That's why I can't target. So she's gonna shoot off an electric arc, which is a reflex save for the critter.
All right. The Ophalth rolls. Or tries to roll. That's a 25. That is a failure.
Yeah.
Give it some damage.
See if this does anything. 12 potential points.
It takes the full 12 points of damage.
And for my last, I'm gonna 10.
It tries to do a big heavy roll, but like just kind of tumbles in place.
Oh wait, I can. Oh no, you're okay-ish. All right.
You gotta beware that fat roll.
Regan runs kind of behind Mayhem.
Just gonna hang out here, just in case.
All right, Felix. Everyone's behind you.
Yeah, great place to be. I'm gonna cast Painful Vibrations. Have this thing make a fortitude save to see how badly we can maybe shake it apart.
All right. That is a critical failure on a 23.
Ooh.
Well, I guess it's a nat 1 then.
Yeah, it is a natural 1.
Let's
Very
roll
nice.
that beautiful damage.
Yeah, I suppose that's a critical failure by 2. 37 doubled for 74 points of damage. What the? Oh!
And it's now sickened. Take that.
Oh, yes, it is now sickened.
And it's deafened for a minute.
Oh, whoops, that should be sickened too. I grabbed the wrong one. Oh, I see. It already got the sickened 2 and the deafened. Yeah, it
I
cannot
done
hear.
nothing this cold combat.
But
Take
this
care of it.
thing is shaken. It is vibrating rapidly. Pieces or chunks of like garbage are falling off of it. But it seems angry now. It is enraged. It is on its last stand. Any other actions?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back behind Mayhem.
Protect us.
I'm getting the sense that there's something going on here, but all right, come at me, I guess.
All right. The creature 5, 10, 5. It lumbers towards you, and then is going to swing an angry big fist at Mayhem. It is sickened.
Hey,
32.
Not a crit.
It will just only hit instead of crit.
Shucks.
Darn.
24 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow. Okay, we're up.
It
We're
will
still standing.
then hurl. It's deafened, so it can't. Okay. We'll then hurl some awful at Felix. I'm gonna add a -1 here because you are behind Mayhem. That will still hit with a 26.
Shouldn't it be sickened 2?
It is sickened 2.
Oh, but the sickened 2 applies a -1. Never mind.
No, each sickened applies -1. It's got the 2 in there.
That second one is for you, Felix, because you're sick.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Your
mine.
AC
yes.
is lower
Yes.
because you're feeling off. Yep.
That-
Correct.
Everyone's sick. It's just a great day.
Everybody feels bad except Regan's feeling okay. Regan's
I
got
feel
this.
good.
I feel good.
I've
16
smelled
points
worse.
of bludgeoning damage for Felix. And then the third awful shot for Regan.
Oh, but I don't want it.
20 is
Oh
going
no,
to
I
how
suck.
awful.
The Jenga flies out of the way.
and let's see. The woman comes running up beside you, Mayhem, and regrips her spiked chain and and overhand swings it at this creature. Attack. That is a 26. That will miss unless
That
I
was a
use my
range
hero
strike?
point. That's a range strike.
That's what it says. Range strike, spike chain. I imagine she was in melee, so I don't know if that makes a difference for the modifier.
Oh, I've just said it wrong. It has range
Oh.
increment 10 feet instead of reach.
Ah, got it. So it does make it. That's
It should not make a difference now. But I will use my hero point because I want her to hit.
and roll lower.
No.
Let's see.
Every
try
time
again.
Jason does. Hey!
Wow.
No,
Holy
I did
shit.
it.
Oh my god.
Natural
You finally
20.
did it.
Hey.
It finally paid off.
Amazing.
Only when I'm on your side.
Hey,
36 points of slashing damage as she tears through the remaining 2 hit points of this creature, ripping it apart.
why?
She's doing great.
Woo! Wow. Wow-wee. Oh. That was a bit crazy, wasn't it, guys?
You could certainly say that. Who the hell are you? What was what was this doing here? Do
Hi.
you know what this was about?
Looks like an Ophalth to me. But hello, I'm Lowry. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Larry.
Hello.
And she holds out a hand, realizes that she's holding her chain in it, and kind of like drops the chain, and then proffers her hand. Here, I'll show you what she looks like.
Oh, geez, she is.
She's happy.
Happy
fun.
and spiky.
Yeah,
Hello,
she's a
Spiky.
very
Is that a
spiky
skull on her
woman.
tabard?
That is a skull on her tabard.
Why?
I have a feeling I know why, but I don't think Tully necessarily does.
He might. You could make a quick. Actually, you've
Assessment there.
You've done this. You've actually already thought about this before. Not only is that a symbol of a Kuthanite, a Zon Kuthan follower, the skull that she has on her tabard is a slightly modified Zon Kuthan skull, the kind that you see on the flag of Nadal.
Mayhem continues to have a sword gripped. Were you with the Needley's contingent that came with the ship?
Nidalee's contingent? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I am Nidalee's, yes. Nidalee's Special Forces. La Rivas.
Felix will walk over and take her hand and say, "Nice to meet you. Thank you for stepping in to help us in fighting this creature that seemingly came up from the depths."
Way too
Of
trusting.
course.
What?
Always happy to lend a hand to people in need.
You Mayhem, you're the one who can be distrusting in the background. We have to keep a front going.
And he is. He is absolutely distrusting in the background, just kind of staring her down a little bit.
And
But also,
what's your name?
mostly trying to get a feel for her.
She's looking at you, Felix. Sorry, did you say your name?
I'm Felix. I run a bar and tavern in town called the Script and Scribble Shop.
Ah, nice to meet you, Mr. Felix. What's their deal? She says, kind of looking at the frowning Mayhem, and I'm not sure what face Regan's making in the background.
Oh, Regan's fine. She's can't really see around, and then she has to go over that, so she's kind of like peeking it through. Like
Mayhem is just
Hello.
professionally grumpy. Don't mind him. The three of us were on our way here trying to find a friend of ours, and unfortunately seem to have angered the neighbors. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, these things happen, you know. Oh well.
Since you did us the honor of coming outside to say hi instead of us knocking on the door, we were wondering if you might have seen a friend of ours who was supposed to have come by this building.
By this building, and she points at the building that she exited from.
Indeed. A couple of days ago, a friend of ours by the name of Vencarlo.
Vencarlo. I don't think I know that name, but she puts a hand on her chin and thinks a moment. You said something about a Nidalee contingent?
Yes. You don't seem to be with them, which is good, but
Maybe
what are you?
Maybe we should talk. But probably not here, she says, looking around. It smells out here, actually. Let's go back inside. And she walks along the walkway, not entering through the front door, and goes around the back.
The moment she's turned the corner, Mayhem's going to turn around and start trying to retch and vomit.
Oh, but it'll be
As he still feels
okay.
awful. He's going to turn and Regan's going to be right there. He doesn't even realize as he just starts going, ugh!
She reaches out, pats him, and wait.
We can do a couple fortitude saves for fun.
Yeah, I think I would do the exact same thing.
I can treat condition too. I don't know if I can bring it below 1.
That might be
It
helpful,
seems
but
like
that's a
you're doing
28 on
great,
that, so that's
yeah.
okay.
Oh, buddy.
Did we finally manage to get better, or are we still second?
Get it all?
Yes. Oh wait, 28. Sorry, is 28? No,
28 too low still?
28 might still be too low. This thing is
God,
nasty.
that's like a
Oh no, 20 is
14.
20. No, 20 is enough. 20 is enough. Yes, 28's enough.
Oh, thank
I
God.
think I did it with it.
I was like, that was a 15, my guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. This thing kills.
Okay, yeah, it is quite high, but yes, it is not that high. All right.
Yeah, let's go
I
indoors.
mean, it might have been. I was just like, damn, this thing is murderous. Oh.
Yeah, it's not. It's nasty. You guys fought a little baby babby version in the sewers before.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to turn around and be that nasty once it's grown up, but
It's a poo-poo monster.
A poo-poo monster that hit for 70-odd hit points.
I mean, it was a crit. It was a crit, but it also crit on me twice without issue. And
Hello, are you guys coming?
Yes, we're sorry. We were just clearing our throat from the
yeah,
unpleasantry.
Oh, okay.
And steps
Oh,
around. The...
Take your time, I guess.
We're not using the
And
front
she goes
door.
back inside.
that is a
Oh.
little strange.
We
Wait
go
a minute.
indoors away from the smell.
There's a little window.
Are you going to investigate the windows?
Is it open?
There's a window over here by Majenko that is see-through. The window right here to the south, that one's closed.
Well, she's gonna have Majenko just peek in the window as she walks.
Yeah, Majenko has dark vision.
He does.
Yes, he does have dark vision.
Yeah,
He can see inside. Looks like an entryway. There looks like there's a lot of like dirty footprints on the floor. But otherwise, it looks kind of empty.
Hmm. We'll continue on. And I'll continue on.
Right?
Oh. Come here, you little shit.
There you go. All right, you join the others inside. Lowry, for her part, has a seat beside a desk, arranged with 6 skulls laid out on the table. Each skull has a candle that has like a hole carved into the top, where there's been a single candle placed in each one. All 6 are lit currently to provide light for this desk, where there's a set of papers that are strewn about. As you enter, Lowry is like stacking them up and arranging them neatly. And I didn't spell her name for you, but it is Lowry, Laori, Vaus, Vaus.
L-A-U-R-I?
Laori.
L-A-O-R. Lowry.
Lowry. Lowry Vaus.
Very different.
You guys, you said so, right. These things are
Before we go too much further, you realize this isn't your home and you're here. Are you a friend of Salvator's? Do you know?
Oh, no, I'm just a fan, actually. I thought
Can I get
that
an
if
insight check at this point?
Sure, yeah. Sense mode.
I'm sorry, I'm just a fan. Yeah, I'm just a fan. Sure. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Perception blind. There we go. I'm just a fan who shows up at his house and hangs out inside. As you do.
She's definitely not just a fan, obviously. You don't sense, like, obviously she's very bubbly, but you're not picking that up as like false. She just seems like a bubbly person. You're not
Okay.
picking, like, she's obviously not telling you everything, but you don't, that maybe that's a trust thing, but she doesn't seem malicious yet.
So far. Okay.
Yeah, you can tell that she's lying to you, but not in a teehee, I'm gonna secretly kill you sort of way. She just seems like she's just really bubbly.
Okay. Sorry. Please continue as I asked about how much she knows about Salvatore.
Oh, no, I'm just a fan, actually. I was stopping by to see if he would stop by, but no luck, actually.
see if he would stop by. So you've been camping out here waiting for him to return?
Yep, that's about the gist of it.
Is camping out at Artist's house a common thing in Adal, or are you just very fervent?
Sure, we'll say fervent. Works for me. But I'm not doing anything untoward, really. I'm just investigating things, you know? What about you guys? Why? Are you fans?
Friends of a friend. To be clear, you did invade his home while he's not here with the intention of waiting for him to return. That does seem a little bit strange. Does that not seem strange to you?
Well, I don't think he's going to be returning home anytime soon, actually.
Why not?
I could show you if you want, but first I'm curious why you want to meet this Salvator.
We don't so much want to meet Salvator as our friend Vincarlo did, and we're trying to find him as he has been missing for some time, and this is the last place he was supposed to have gone to. So we're sort of following the last lead we got.
Connections. Okay. Yeah, we can work with that.
Why
So,
don't you
like-
think that Salvator would be coming back?
Well, because he's kidnapped, obviously. ...
How do you know that?
I swear to God,
Well-
if she says we did it.
Well, like I said, I can show you, but I mean, only if you guys want to work together.
I would love to learn more, and we'll decide if we're going to continue getting invested. But it's definitely troubling that he was kidnapped, and that could very well inform where our friend is.
Well, that could be very useful information then. But if I'm going to share that sort of thing with you, obviously I need to get something in exchange. So, like, you want to tell me about this Italy's contingent you were talking about?
Not entirely sure how many of them were actually from Nadal, but there was a ship that arrived in port some weeks ago that was bearing Nadal marks and flags, and was then sunk as it was supposedly carrying the plague. We're pretty sure it was not at all carrying anything of the sort, but we're not entirely sure why it was here and what Nadal has to do with anything. So I'm now
Sounds
wondering if
about
there are
right.
Needlese people in town and what they're up to, and as it's a pleasure to meet you, I suppose. And now I'm curious as to what you're exactly up to with Salvator.
I don't think you're telling me everything.
Neither are you,
She
so
says,
I think
narrowing
it's
her
fair enough.
eyes.
If you want to be trusting, you have to trust. And since you're not trusting, neither am I.
What? I've told you so many things. Like, this guy's kidnapped, and of what I'm here for.
Yeah,
You,
and I definitely don't believe you. So, if you would like to tell us what you're actually
Aw.
here for, you can be a fan. I believe that, but I also believe you're here for more than that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have decided to hang out in his house for days.
like I said, it's an investigation. I'm investigating things, you know? Like, criminal things. I mean, if you had some information on, say, a notorious Italy's criminal, that might be enough to persuade me to help you out. But
I think
you don't have
the only
anything like
person we
that,
dealt
do you?
with was. I'm gonna step out of character for a moment. I'm trying to remember. Was a lot of them were from Cheliax? Was any of the cultists from Nadal? A lot of the doctors came from Cheliax, and we couldn't determine that. Was Endyson from Nadal?
My notes aren't helping me. Like, I have the stuff about the direction and the fact that the markings on the boat were all from Nadal. So like that I can back you on.
I'll shortcut you. Yes, Nadal and Dyson is from Nadal.
Okay, I was trying to go back to my notes to find it, and thank you.
Yes, that is why they had all the Nidalee wine. That is why the direction was there. It seemed to all be
Because she
connected to
Absconded
Andyson.
with it. Well, we took out the Nidalee's person we knew of, Andyson, I think her name was. Some Ergothoan worshiper.
Took out. So she's already dead.
Yeah, she's super dead.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Twice.
Did you know her?
Oh, and she's not undead, right?
No, she came back, but then we killed her again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There were several steps. I don't
Wow.
remember that last part, but
Okay. I guess you guys saved me a lot of work then. Cool. I guess. Sure. Why don't we work together then? Excellent. Delightful, even. Oh, goody.
great. Do you want to explain yourself, or are you just going to be super happy and assume things?
I like being super happy and assuming things actually. But sure, let's come here. And she kind of squeezes past you, Felix, and opens this door here. Come this way.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, it's pitch black in there.
That's what I was looking for. Do I have my light on me?
Yeah,
she's
she'll
like an
bring one out herself. Where is it?
I
There
have a
it
torch
is. Held in a
someplace.
hand.
No, I don't have
Okay.
torches. They all got turned into other things. I got turned into stakes.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
no.
brings out a crystal and makes her way towards the back. And she'll open doors on both sides and lead you to a back room here. See, check it out. And she gestures at a bedroom that has been completely ransacked. The bed has been torn apart. Pillows have been thrown about. There's splotches of blood on at least one of the pillows. And there are just tons of muddy footsteps all over the ground.
And
Well,
through
my
that,
theory is that a bunch of guys came over, picked him up, and took him out.
what's behind her? Because I can see that, like, through whatever that
Is
is.
it a window?
Yeah, because
Oh,
it
the
looks
window?
curious.
Oh, there's just some like random discarded clothes out there.
Oh, I thought it was like a headless doll.
No,
it does
no,
kind of
no.
look like a headless person just up on the lawn.
I was like,
I
is
just
that a-
cutely put a pair
Oh.
of discarded pants on top of a pair of discarded or a set of discarded shirt.
I was
a
just making sure.
discarded
I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Um,
Wow.
We've been looking for the whole time. He's just been outside on the lawn, headless.
It's simply an Easter egg for when I was drawing them or designing the map.
Look, I love that. I do love that.
Well, if I had a gold for every artist that's been kidnapped, I'd have like 3 gold at this point.
but looking at the details of this room, this doesn't scream kidnapping to me. Because why would they tear open the bed? This seems more like they were looking for something.
She shrugs. I imagine the bed might have been like that, actually. I don't think this guy was living his best life, if you know what I mean. Seems like he was a little too focused on his art. That's what I find so intriguing about him.
Fair.
I'm not familiar with his particular art style. Regan, you seem to know, though.
What now?
Oh, I'm sorry, Felix. You seem to know,
Yeah.
though. I don't know why.
That's-
What is this artist into exactly?
Salvator is, kind of enjoyed exploring the macabre in the dark. And maybe it also bled into his personal life in the state of his home. But, like, just
It's some
have
real
it-
fucked up shit, actually.
Yeah, like it's the sort of thing that you probably shouldn't show to other people, but rich people do, so they can get a rise out of one another.
Yeah,
The Carowinds, I
okay.
think, had one upstairs, if you remember.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was a little distracted to be looking at the portraits on the walls, but fair enough.
Can I do some kind of investigation check to try and figure out if this place was truly, like, just this awful when he was kidnapped, or if like it's been turned over looking for something? Those
Sure.
are different crimes.
Yeah, perception.
With some question marks.
Or survival, actually. But your perception is probably
Yes.
higher.
You said that before I got to click things. You're not wrong.
Okay, yeah, you take a look around the room, scanning the details of the scene. The pillow on the bed that has the blood stain on it looks like maybe there was some kind of impact, like maybe he got punched in his sleep. The tearing of the bed looks a bit older. It looks like the bed is just in a really bad quality. Maybe Salvator was tearing at it himself. Unclear.
Okay.
But it's pretty. The mattress itself is like very, very worn and old. Is not in good condition. The rest of the room, you can see that the chest of drawers here is closed, and if you open it to look inside, there are some scattered clothes inside, but it looks like everything that was like, it doesn't look like anything was moved out of it.
Okay.
And there's just not much else in this room, and there's no, like, this guy was clearly living a pretty sparse life. And there's no, you even like try to pay attention to like, are there any like spots of like, there's clearly dust in the room. Are there any spots where like maybe a piece of furniture was that got moved around or something? But no, nothing. This place is just bare, just fairly barren. And on that roll, I would actually even give you, you can like follow the tracks out here into the kind of entryway, and it's the same story here. All of the tracks just look like they go in and out. Looks like maybe 6 people came in, and you see drag marks leading out. So they probably came in, knocked him out, dragged his body. But these cabinets here, they've got some old stale food in them. Otherwise, nothing. Doesn't look like
Wild.
anything of value was taken.
I guess after all that poking around, I've sort of like, I've built up some faith in the story that she's telling us. And I guess my next question would be, yeah, like, if you are interested in working together, I think that this is a pretty decent mystery, and that I have absolutely no idea why anyone would have wanted to kidnap this artist. How long have you been here waiting? About how old is all of this?
Just a few days, actually. I'm not really sure when this happened.
Just a few days? So he's been kidnapped for at least a few days.
I imagine so, yep.
Do you have any idea where he might be taken, or who might have taken him?
If I were to guess, it's probably that Emperor guy. It was his goons that probably did it.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah, I didn't want that to be the answer.
What's his name? I heard some people talking about him. Emperor Piltz, I think?
Piltz?
They all sound kind of nutso if you ask me, so I didn't really bother digging too deeply into it. I figured I'd wait around a few days more, see if he came back. But doesn't look like that's happening. And here you are, looking for him too. Oh, actually, if you're looking for, you said you had a friend, right? A been careless.
You could say that. Vencarlo.
Maybe this is his? And she pulls out a scrap of cloth from her pocket.
Ooh. Ooh, Felix.
What does this scrap of cloth look like?
It is it looks clearly torn, and it's got a little spot of blood on it. It's like a kind of like a dark black color. Could give me a society check if you want to look it over.
I've been rolling on fire tonight. How much worse can it go? Do you want this public?
Sure, why not?
Let's everybody see the shame.
I'll give it a chance.
Shame 16.
I sort of believe it's
16, okay.
Vencarlo's robes.
That was my thought, but I don't want to make the assumption, so.
I don't want to assume either. Hey, Felix, it's up to you.
All right, you take it out, pass it around. Mayhem, your first thought, you don't verbalize it, but your first thought is blackjack. Like, it's a torn piece of black clothing. Maybe it could be from him, but you're pretty sure none of the clothing was torn in the box, and obviously the box was there, so that doesn't make sense.
I don't think
You're
he'd
not
be
sure.
visiting as blackjack. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, and you don't think Vencarlo wore black normally.
At least not as a main portion of his outfit, I'm sure.
Yeah, Regan, you have kind of similar thoughts. It looks kind of fancy.
Ooh.
There's clearly like a bit of embroidery on it, but you're not sure what it is. Felix, you would recognize this as almost certainly part of a uniform. And in fact, it is almost certainly part of the Seneschal's uniform. The color of the, like, it's gold and red embroidery kind of intertwined, and you can't see the full thing that it was a part of, but you think this might have been like part of like the shoulder pattern, but you know that the Seneschal usually has some kind of golden red threaded embroidery on his clothing.
Yeah, when I get a hold of it, I'll like look at it sort of in a bit of disbelief and ask Larry, where did you find this?
Oh, I found it in it was in that art room over here. And she brings you back over to the room where she had kind of camped out. There's some scattered art supplies and things. While I was looking around, I found it kind of like caught on one of the floorboards. It looked like it had been torn from something. Figured it was someone's clothes. I was gonna maybe look into it later, but if it happens to fit your guy, then all the power to you.
The floorboards, like, could you point out where on the floor?
Yeah, kind of right here in the middle, she said, pointing.
Can I inspect the floor for trap doors of that and like a way into the under of this building?
Yeah, I mean, I'll save you the time. It doesn't look like that's the case. Like, there doesn't appear to be any like secret floor thing here. It looks like it just probably got caught on one of the, like, these floorboards are pretty gnarled.
Okay, so like the garment was on the ground and got picked up, and this got torn as a result or something.
You think it got caught there or left there. It doesn't look like the tear. Actually, give me a crafting check, someone.
Okay.
I will duo the crafting check.
I will not.
Do you want question marks or public?
Public's fine. I'm feeling public today.
Ooh,
Those are high numbers.
We love it. We're crafty.
And that's why I did nothing. Everyone else got this.
Natural 28 and a 28 and a natural 20 for 34. Yeah. Not only do you realize that this was that this tearing was like clearly like intentional. It looks like it was done by hand. Like the way the fibers are ripped, it looks like someone had like pulled at it to like rip it apart.
Ooh.
And that this is and one of the edges actually has like a scissor cut, like a clean shear. So it looks like maybe part of it was torn and then part of it was cut. Very kind of cleanly. It doesn't look like it got snagged on anything. It just looks like it was, yeah, like ripped and torn. Or sorry, ripped off and then scissored. And in fact, you can probably guess that this was part of a sleeve.
Wow.
Maybe kind of like near the shoulder area.
So he cut off a piece of his robes and it got onto the floor.
He wanted someone to find it.
He, left behind a clue.
And we also have.
Yeah, I was. No, congratulations on reading my mind.
Oh yeah. I was
I've-
like,
I've
Don't
been
need a
think-
wand for mind reading, just for object reading.
just for object reading. I've been wondering what thing to use the wand of object reading on in this place, and I think we've just figured it out.
I was like, this is gonna be useful today.
I will note, if this is the rank 1 wand, it's within the past week. So, depending on when this
Hopefully it's
sleeve
in a
was
week.
torn, it may or may not give us the information we want. But I think we're definitely worth trying. It's not going to hurt.
Well, eventually, Felix has
We
to
should
learn
upgrade
this
this at some point, yeah.
spell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That way we can heighten it so that we can just learn
Yeah.
everything that's ever happened with this particular piece of cloth.
All
Since
over
it
the
was
planet.
originally
Yeah.
made as a plant back in the
Yeah,
day.
it starts as a plant, grows from a seed.
Just see this super fast time lapse of this
Yeah.
plant
No.
turning into.
It's a
weaving
first
cloth.
emotional experience. Like it just gets cut to be turned into cloth. It's like, ah, yeah, great.
This
Well,
is how
she
we
sees
learn
you
how
pull out
plants
the
have
wand, and Lowry, ooh, what's that?
Oh, it's very exciting. And Regan will go into far too much detail about what the wand is, but she'll explain it's you can read objects and you can figure out all the stuff. But Felix is really good at using it, so I like to give it
Oh,
to
wow,
Felix.
that's cool. What a neat trick. I've never seen anything like that before. Go on, do it. And she, like, pulls the chair around and sits in it, like, backwards. Excitedly watching.
It's not very exciting while the person's doing it, but afterwards it is. So here you go, Felix.
Yeah, this tends to be the part where it's mildly creepy, but I'll see y'all in a minute when I'm back. And I'll go ahead and use the wand of object reading. Or at least I would if the button would let me. It doesn't want to press.
Here, I'll just. Can I press it?
Hey, you probably have to
Yeah,
use the
you have
charge
to use
yourself,
that.
but...
Yeah, Oh, it used it.
Okay, you place the scrap of clothing on the floor, and tap the wand to it, and close your eyes. You feel that familiar feeling of spirits in the area coalescing, and magic channeling flowing up your arm into your mind. And you feel just very hazy. It's like you're trying to reach out for a memory that you can't quite reach. It's just out of grasp.
No.
It seems that whatever important events happened with this cloth, that was more than 1 week ago.
That's what I was afraid of.
But that's good knowledge as well.
It is. It tells us it's not a recent thing that happened. So, I mean, the Seneschal was missing months ago at this point. Oh God, how long have we been? How long has all of this been happening?
It's been
Is it
it's
still
been more than a
2020?
month. It has been more than a month. It has
Yeah,
to
so
have been.
some months ago he went missing, which implies that this could have been from around that time and was not a recent occurrence.
I
But
believe it was
we'll
last
need more
month.
information. Yeah.
This
A
is,
month and some ago.
This is halfway through Callistrol. Oh, sorry, through Ferrest, and I think the
Yeah.
game started at the beginning of Callistrol.
So yeah, it's been
Oh
a month
my
and a half.
Gosh, this has been the longest month and a half.
I mean, lots happened. Not good.
Um,
Don't you hate it when there's news every day?
does the failure of the spell to get any information also still consume the
Charge,
from
yes.
the wand?
Yes.
Boo.
We just have to steal stuff.
Yeah, good old fashioned way.
Oh, what happened? Is everything okay?
When whatever emotional event happened related to this scrap of fabric was more than a week ago. The spell has its limits.
Aw.
Boo.
Really?
I know. But it does tell us that whatever this is has been here for a while, and while incredibly interesting, I don't think was maybe directly related to the kidnapping.
Huh. Well, I guess that's back to square one then.
Why is everyone visiting this artist?
Because he's very important.
Why?
I mean, to the art world maybe, but I can't say to the society at large. I only know about him because the Nuevo rich get obsessed about weird macabre things they find.
Is that why you have such an interest in his work? It's the specific style that he employs, Lowry?
Oh, yes. His style is it's certainly quite something. You can give me a perception check.
Yeah. We're gonna
She doesn't
keep
care about
poking.
art. She hates art.
Who needs art anyway?
Art sucks. Ooh.
Some question marks for you.
Oh.
Okay. While you were both talking about Salvator Scream, somehow, like, why is everybody visiting him? Guess he must be really important. There was a flash of something in Lowry's eyes, so she, like, looks away. She seems to think he's important for some reason. She's definitely... There's something more going on here to her than just her being a fan and just being kind of passively interested in him.
I'm gonna say this out of character. Is he blessed by Zon-Kuthon? Is that why she's interested? Is he like being visited by Zon-Kuthon and given like visions which he paints? Maybe that's what she's got. This is out of character. I'm just spitballing.
Larry, which of his works do you know the most of?
Who in this room do you know right now?
Name 5 of his paintings.
Oh, you're a fan? Name all of
Oh,
them.
I'm quite partial to the feast, actually. That's a good one.
The feast.
Alex doesn't know this. Does Felix know of the feast?
You got a 20, didn't you?
You did
no,
get a
not on
natural
that
20 before. Oh, was it a natural 20?
It
I
was
don't
a
think it
natural
on this one.
20.
Was it?
Like
Oh,
on the
I missed it.
original check for the society.
Yes, it
for
was a natural
Salvator.
20. Okay. This is the last free Salvatore thing I'll give you. Yes, you are aware of the feast. It is one of his lesser known works. It's
Okay,
one
so
that he actually made for there's a you remember that there is a theater in Old Corvosa that used to commission him for backdrops. And for one of their plays, they commissioned the feast on like a big tapestry. So it's like a painted tapestry. He's done variations of it too, like in smaller print and stuff, but like the one you would know of is the one that's on the big tapestry.
That was the famous version of it.
Yes. But even that's like not super well known. That's a pretty niche pick for her.
I mean, in the realm of Corvosan theater, it's a pretty decent. It's a pretty deep cut. She just pulled. But like how thinking about my next question. Like Salvator is a really a well-known artist if you are within the Corvosan art scene. How did like news of his work make it all the way to Nadal?
Oh, I have my sources, she says with kind of like a wry smile. But that's not really that important, I don't think.
I suppose, at least my reason for checking is that I don't want to be going to save Salvatore just to hand him over to somebody else who's going to kidnap him and kill him. So, despite the fact that you seem to be reasonable and kind, I don't know you, and I'm very suspicious considering everything else that's going on in town. I apologize if we come off as a little bit harsh.
Who's going to kill him? Or
I'm
you
hoping
made a
not
deal with
you.
someone else? Oh, I don't want him. I just wanted to talk to him, but he's not here, so. Right. She shrugs. But if you do find him, I'd love to speak with him. But that's neither here nor there.
Who would have taken the artist? They came to his house in the middle of the night. Or at least that's what it seems from looking over the things. So they came to him specifically. Or was he an opportunity target? And they just were going... Should we check the other homes on the street to see if anybody else was taken? Or if anything else had happened in the last couple of weeks?
Oh, I actually already asked about that, and no, it doesn't seem like it. The Emperor's been kidnapping some people, but no one else on this street, as far as I've heard.
So you do think it's the Emperor, though?
I'm pretty sure no one's got groups of thugs like that.
The Queen does,
maybe it's
but...
the Arconas? The Queen hasn't really been operating here in Old Corvosa, though.
That's true. The Arconas... What are they up to? They've basically been staying back in their manse and haven't come out much?
Yeah, she shrugs. Haven't seen that much of them, no.
What's the point of being noble if you can't actually be noble?
Yeah.
There's also the Cerulean Society and the, what are they called? The Brizine Gang. I always forget their name.
Yeah, Scarzy.
Oh, yes, those guys. I've seen a bit of them around, but I asked the Scarzy, and they didn't seem to know much about this guy.
They don't really do kidnapping much anyway. They're more extortion.
The Cerulean Society, though, I haven't checked with them yet. They seem a little hard to deal with.
Maybe. Well, we need to go deal with this Emperor at some point, I think, if he's employing mobs around the city, or at least around
All right, well,
the area.
Have fun with that, she says as she starts collecting her skulls and dropping them into her. She like blows out the candles and like swipes all the
Mayhem
skulls
just
into her
now
bag of
realizes that she has set up all of these skulls over here, as he's just apparently not paid attention to the fact that there's skulls holding candles over there.
Well, enjoy your side of the investigation. I'll let you know if I find anything. She opens the door and steps out.
Do you have a way we can
See you
contact
later.
you to actually let you know?
Yeah.
What we find out?
How would we get in contact with you?
She's gone.
She's fucking out. Okay. I don't know what to make of her, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Feels like even more that there are so many different like factions of people with something they want / need, and we just encountered another one of them and didn't understand an ounce of it.
Well, while you all were talking, I'm not doing anything crazy important. But
Okay.
Regan
What you
goes
doing?
up. She casts light on herself. She's just gonna go steal this pillow.
The bloody pillow.
Yeah, for later. That sounded weird.
I was going to say, there's surely legitimate reasons, but just on its face, she's just going to steal this guy's pillow. Don't want the blood on it, you
I
know?
need this for later. Yeah,
For later.
she's like, well, I'll take this if we don't end up like staying here, coming back. She wants some stuff to try the spell on again when the charge is back. So she's
All right.
taking the pillow.
I'm giving you a treasure item. It is called Salvator's bloody pillow. Oh, I forgot to give you the scrap of clothing as well. I'll just drop it
I am
on the
definitely not
floor.
wearing the pillow.
Yeah, we're in darkness right now.
But... Here you go. Create new class. Oh yes, you're in the dark. Feel free to put on the light or something.
I don't think I have any torches because I think they all got converted into stakes.
True.
And it feels like a very terrible waste to use my 1 hour of dark vision so I can see inside the house to open the door. So I'm just going to wait for Regan in the dark.
I mean, to be fair, she didn't close the door
Oh,
behind her. She
well,
just
see,
left.
I couldn't see the door, so I was just going to walk towards
Ah.
the exit, but I couldn't. It wouldn't let me out.
I did
Sorry,
by
yeah.
accident.
Oh, I see. In the darkness, you can't see the door to open the door, which makes sense, but also means,
Oh, I thought that was bacon. I was like, whoa.
No, there's just not enough. There's not many cloth pieces icons that I can find.
The Seneschal.
Such
Seneschal
Seneschal's bacon.
Did we, when Felix was looking, did you just kind of look over the room? Did you go through anything anywhere? Because if not, I'll start going through stuff.
I thought I investigated the room a fair bit to like
Yeah,
opening
you might have.
doors,
Yes.
picking through
Okay.
things.
The
Just making sure.
this room and the entryway have both been pretty thoroughly looked at. It looks like there's a
Okay.
a shitload of footprints that have been left behind from muddy boots that came in, grabbed someone out of the bed and dragged them out. All of the cabinets otherwise are pretty empty.
Oh Lord.
There is a room back here that no one.
There is a
looked in.
room back here, past
Well,
the
mushrooms.
yes, there is a back room full of mushrooms here. It was a door behind the room where Lowry had set up her skulls, and in the room Lowry was in is clearly some kind of like painting room. There is an old easel. There's a couple of paintings on the floor that are like partially finished, some scattered brushes and things. Felix, you open the back door. It looks like a kind of a kitchen, maybe at some point, but it is currently filled with all sorts of colorful mushrooms that are all very neatly arranged. I'd say arranged. They seem to be kind of in clumps or sections around the room, sorted by color. So while they are like kind of just growing on on the wood of the crates and boxes and things in this, and even on the floorboards, they're just sort of in clumps by color.
But like this, this is maybe the artists growing their own like color supplies.
Yes, these look very similar to the pigment mushrooms that you saw that other lady carrying, but these are much more vibrant.
Naively, I thought I was bringing Salvatore a gift.
Looks like he's got plenty.
Indeed. Yeah, I don't.
And, well, as you step into the room, I am going to need a fortitude save.
Oh no!
Yeah, I wasn't. in
From
that
both
room.
you and Regan.
Why? I wasn't even gonna do it.
As you are both very there's like a big burst of spores.
Whoops.
That is
We're
a
gonna get high on
25
spores.
Felix
I hope
and
we
for
get high on
Reagan.
Hold on one second. I don't think I can use.
I'll give you a +2 bonus because you're behind, like you're a bit further back behind the door.
Is this a disease? No.
It's a poison and it's inhaled.
Okay, I only have a plus against disease, so let me just put in that. Oh.
24.
Mid?
All right, you both failed.
As you do.
Here, let's
Okay.
do. We'll do a quick little combat.
Great.
Let's go. Roll initiative.
Oh. All of us? I was outside. Okay.
Yeah. Still roll initiative.
Because you
All
might
right,
have to help us.
Nah, I'm just gonna hang out here. I
I'm
wasn't doing
slow
anything
and
before.
Slow.
Oh
I
my
am the
gosh, these rolls.
slowest. The
2, a
mushrooms
3,
are fast.
and a 4. Woof.
Where's
No one rolled a one.
No one. We avoided
What's
the 1.
the initiative
Good
of
call.
mushrooms?
They don't have
-1.
initiative.
Oh.
The problem is just that. Hey, Mayhem, it's your turn. You hear
Um,
some spores burst behind you.
Y'all all right in there? Mayhem's just gonna look around the corner, but is not doing this in any sort of quick manner. He doesn't realize anything's wrong.
When do the mushrooms go?
Never.
Oh.
They don't. Felix,
That looks
you
like a
are
mushroom.
drained and you take 3 points of poison damage. And I need a fortitude save. Okay. You're still coughing and you feel like it's getting a bit worse, but you can take your reactions.
Yeah, I take one action to come outside and get outside the building as far as I can. And then I don't know what to do with the remainder of my actions. I can't really cure poison in any specific way.
All right. Reagan,
Do you think
same
happen?
thing.
Okay.
You take
Oh,
1d8 poison and you're
Ah.
drained 1.
I love it.
Take 5 points of damage.
I will.
Okay, whoops.
Oh, Machenko, baby. So, I'm just gonna shut this door.
Okay, you shut the door into the kitchen.
Leave.
You stumble out, coughing.
I hate that. I'm not going near the water. I'm just
Probably for the best.
I'm just
Give me the fort save then.
do it. Hey, it's a 25.
Decent number.
All right.
Failure.
Still a failure.
I love
Have
the
another
fail.
drained.
Oof. Bad.
Who
Mayhem.
uses these
They're
mushrooms?
coughing. There's like a trail of yellow spores following them.
I'm going to pull my mask up over my mouth again, just in case. But I have nothing to help with anything like this. Mayhem will start grabbing for the potions that he does have. His 2 healing potions, but he doesn't really have anything for poisons or any sort of healing. So he will have his potions in hand and kind of step forward, but that's all he's got is to offer those. He will offer the moderate healing potion to Regan and the minor healing potion to Felix.
Okay.
Weave them off.
Felix?
It's not prompting me for all the things, but I assume this poison continues.
It will continue. Technically, it's at the end of your turn, but I had just done it on the first round. I did it at the start of your turn for funsies.
Okay. Like with a little bit more like presence of mind, I have a healer's toolkit. So like I have the bits and pieces to try and do a treat poison action. I would try to treat myself.
Okay. Treat yourself. Roll that
yeah.
medicine check.
I'll treat myself to not dying from like poison spores in an artist's home. This is how every college student in Santa Cruz dies.
21 is not a success, so no bonus, sadly. Is there any penalty to doing it multiple times? Or are you immune for like a round or something? Can't try again until the next time the creature saves. Okay.
So I get one shot at it.
Yep.
I guess?
Take your fortitude save and your increased damage, 14 points of poison damage.
There's a 29.
29 is a success. You are now only drained 1.
Yay!
I imagine this is lots of vomiting.
Yep.
Hacking, coughing.
Hacking, coughing, hacking. Regan, you've got 10 HP.
I do. If I just like die, do the spores leave me alone?
I mean, you would
What
die.
Can I like? What is this? Is it just poisoning because there's spores, or is it a certain type of?
Yeah, you could. This would be probably a nature check to identify it.
Ooh, gross. All right, we're gonna try anyway. Ba, ba, ba.
I should have walked a potion.
15, 25.
So good question. These are that I think actually you would have heard of these. Yeah, this is those yellow spores almost certainly came from yellow mold, a very dangerous type of fungal thing. You think this poisoning should not last too long. You think it's only about 6 rounds. So if you can survive 6 rounds, you'll be okay.
That's great. So I'm gonna battle medicine myself. Maybe. There we go. Yes. Yes. All of these are correct. Where are my healers off? Alright. So it's a success. The 28 heal.
Yep, 25 will succeed. 28 points of healing.
I have
Good.
so few HP. And then what did Felix do for his checks? I don't have anything to cure poison.
There's treat poison, the action, which helps
Perfect.
increases your save DC. Or increases your bonus to saving against the poison. Mayhem was also trying to hand you a potion, but I guess you're at a relatively high HP at the moment.
That's because I don't have a lot of HP.
Right. You'll have a potion for next round,
Sure.
just in case you need it.
So
Why is your HP really that low?
it's
Yes.
48.
Oh, sorry, it's dropping because of the drain, right?
Yeah, drained is bad. This is not bad. This is
I'm
not
like-
good.
Right.
I'm like, good for me if I can last 6 rounds. Wait, hold on. What does this rod do?
That's what we're gonna have to try to do with Mayhem if he hadn't been able to heal that last time. So
where's the
you can get a
action
nat 20.
to do the poison?
It's called treat poison.
I had it in a health kit. That's where I found the action.
Oh, in the health kit.
You can also control space and type treat poison.
Treat
It's a
poison.
treat.
Treat poisson.
There it is.
You have fish as snacks.
Treat poison. Attempt a medicine check against the poison's DC.
So yeah, I just do a medicine check.
Wee. There it goes. 34.
34 is not a crit, but it is a success, so you get a +2 to your save.
All right, and then I do my
Here's your save.
with a plus.
And you are currently at stage 2, so here's your 2d8 damage as well to go along with that save.
Thank you.
14 poison damage.
Let me
Light down the episode.
do this, and then I will. Oh, a nat 20.
Nat 20. You are no longer poisoned.
Whoa. Great, and that's my whole everything.
That's one down.
All right.
Go, save
I'm
Felix.
sick of this poison.
Mayhem.
I'm sick of it.
I'm gonna delay until after Regan's turn. Because
Okay.
I ain't been able to do nothing so far anyway.
You can do a medicine check to try and like.
I don't have medicine trained.
I forget. I'm a bard. I can do everything.
Yeah, I've
Even
had to
when-
limit how much I could train in things,
I
and medicine
forget
was one of
I
those
can
I was
do
like,
everything.
other people can handle the medicine and the knowing things. I will let you guys do that. I will do the physical stuff.
I have approximate knowledge of too many things, and I forget. I'm sorry.
You're doing a good job.
Like, I can do a medicine check. I have a +1.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is becoming the chapter where I kill you all with poisons
Yeah.
and,
And
Constantly
diseases
going
and
disease and persistent damage.
you're really rewarding us for our
I
curiosity.
have a very dubious
Yes.
condition right now as well, so I'm not happy
All right,
about that.
Felix, it's your turn. You got
Yeah,
13
I'm gonna-
HP.
I'm gonna drink a health potion.
All right, 30 points of healing.
Maybe drink another
Good
one
amount.
because they're cool.
We're gonna need to go get more potions.
Yeah, I brought a whole bunch. And I thought it was gonna cover me. For
And
this
they're all gone.
adventure.
We have to keep having to
Ah.
pump them into each other.
All right, give me your
Exactly.
save.
Well, first here's my. That was 2 actions. So here's my 3rd action, which is my medicine
That's a good
check.
number.
So
You do have to draw your potions, though.
they're in my. Oh,
You have to pick them in your hand, so you could like.
they're in
grab
my
one,
consumable
down it, grab
section.
another.
I know, but you still
Yeah,
have
but
to
that means they're on
actually
your
physically
belt.
draw them. Yeah, they're on your belt.
Okay.
You can't just like bend down and like start sucking your potion off of your belt. You actually have to take
No.
it off the belt so you can open it and drink it.
Disgusting.
Unless you're like
me
really
the fort
nimble,
save.
maybe? But
All right,
Do you wanna use a
22.
hero
That is a failure. What were you at? Were you already at?
I had passed the second round of it,
past
but
the
I had
second one. Okay.
a success, so I got to drained 1 instead.
All right, so that's one of these. So 4 points of poison, but
That's
your
not that
drain
bad, luckily.
goes up on the failure. Regan.
I want to help. Ooh, but not by the water. Okay. I
it
don't
happened
like
once.
that.
What are the odds it would happen a second time while we're in the middle
4
of
times.
poisons?
4
Oh.
times.
I didn't
mean,
know that
I'm
time
counting-
there was a
Okay.
sea monster at the very beginning of the campaign.
Hey, buddy. Can I?
Corvosa's got a lot of water. It's by the sea.
So he's like
All the underwater stuff with Direption.
healthy. Can I treat poison to
Mhm.
help? Okay.
Yes.
Well, now I know how to do that.
You got a really great medicine check.
We did do this last episode. It was only a week ago.
But I didn't treat poison that time.
I think you did.
Yeah.
was-
Did I actually?
Yeah, Mayhem was dying of poison at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
A
I
week
don't
has gone
remember
by.
if I
Our
did.
brains have emptied.
It's because it's not in my sheet anywhere.
We'll have to fix that at some point. We can add that as a
Wait, I don't know.
action.
Plus. Because I did a lot of like feeding potions and thinking about it. 24.
I've added treat poison to your actions list.
Also, it doesn't matter if I do something 5 minutes ago or a week ago. I will forget it.
You know, that's fair. That's
Oh.
totally fair.
It doesn't matter if I write it down.
24 is a regular failure.
Good, I don't kill him.
No death. Mayhem.
Well, is there anything I can do to help Buddy out here? Do I have anything? I could attempt a treat poison medicine check myself, but I don't even have a med kit, do I? I think that's required.
Yeah, you would need a medicine kit.
Oh, but I did have that one kit. I do have a healer's toolkit. Ha!
Oh, okay.
Cheap poison.
You know where I got that? Why I probably shouldn't use it. I got it from the hospice.
We got
So,
rid of
I don't
all
know
of the cursed and evil items.
They're just tools. They're not necessarily inherently cursed or anything. So I will use my first action and second action to go into the bag of my spacious pouch and pull out this healer's toolkit, and then we'll try and treat poison ourselves. Just
All
one
right.
action, I think. Yes.
Yeah, it's just one action.
So we'll try a medicine check. I'm sure it's going to go splendidly. Let me first do that.
Gonna die.
Do that.
You know, I guess if he didn't get kidnapped, he would have died from his horrible spores.
And that is a 15.
That is
Is that a critical failure?
critical
I should not
failure.
I should not have actually tried. Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know.
You're
There's a
cutting
part of me that's like,
You don't need a scalpel to do that.
What did you?
Oh my god.
he starts pulling out tools and goes like, "Oh,
This
I
doesn't
don't-
involve tools. Why did
I
you?
don't know how any of this
Why
works."
did you get tools?
This is what everyone's just fighting now.
You're just like
We're just
injecting
yelling.
him with something
I was like,
random.
I don't know what this is. Maybe this will help.
Oh my god, that's
I'm
someone's
I'm
blood.
gonna die.
Felix, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a potion. I'm gonna apply a potion.
All right.
That's 2 actions.
You
For what
sound
it's worth, I
pretty-
think we can keep you alive for 6 rounds. I don't know if we could keep both of you alive for 6 rounds, but one of you I think we could do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt my treat poison.
Oh, you
action.
treat poison? Okay. Go ahead.
Forgive me. I don't actually have a treat poison button. I put this together out of.
I
Yeah, just do
found-
medicine. If you just
Yeah,
do a medicine check.
It's
fine.
a medicine
I
with
know
a
the DC.
+2 modifier because of the med kit that I have.
Okay.
'Cause I have a nice one. Not that it matters much in
Stop.
this circumstance.
Stop using scalpels to treat your
Felix, you
poison.
have 3 hero points.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll
At
that.
some point, you're going to die.
At least this is a regular failure. I'm okay with this.
Okay.
All right.
This ships.
23 is a regular failure. What are you at currently?
Yeah,
That's
here's my
2, so
fortitude
here's
save.
2d8 for that. Here's this.
That's all right. Ooh.
Well,
I'm
luckily
gonna-
a critical failure and a regular failure aren't so different here.
Can I try and use a hero point here?
Yeah, you can use a hero point on the fort save too. It was 10 for a critical failure.
Yeah, that was a 2 on the die.
All right.
How about a 20 on the die?
Yeah.
That's much better.
Thank
You were at stage
goodness.
2. So you take your 11 points of damage,
Took him.
and that is enough to bring you to stage 0.
You did it.
Hey, I helped.
Yeah.
No, you did not.
Hey, when I helped, he got better. What do you want?
No, yeah, you stab it. and
I'm
he
just
goes,
gonna cough for another hour or so.
You just
then
stab
he
the poison
stabbing
out.
himself.
That's all you need to do. You stab the poison
Oh
out.
my god, they're bloodletting. Oh my god. And then now everyone's convinced it works. Next time
This
we
is
just-
why people kept doing, because sometimes it worked, and they were like, "Well, it's obviously working. We should keep
Ooh.
bloodletting."
you balance his humors and now he's better. And actually
Yeah.
he's healthier than I am. So
Huh.
what does that say?
That's very humorous indeed.
Oh my god.
That out, just out,
I'm not
get out.
healing you. I'm healing me.
Felix starts sipping some potions to try to get the
Look,
taste of spores out of your mouth.
I'm just gonna. Can we take 10 so I can heal 2 people?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's get away from right here,
The
though.
water. I
And-
agree.
The house. I don't want to be.
Oh, the
Ugh.
spores.
Hold your breath.
I don't want to go in the front,
Oh,
the
look!
back would smell
We're not
bad.
going inside. We're
Dude.
going away from this
The
place to someplace else.
Monster.
We are leaving. We are not being near this place that has been
Yes.
filled with death
I am
and
all the way.
mushrooms and
Voodoo
poisons.
monster.
This
Alright,
is
another
a
alley.
bad
We
place.
can take 10 there.
So you leave the artist shack.
Honestly, the kidnapper saved that man from an early grave.
Yeah, whatever the heck those things. Ofaults?
Ophal.
Ophal. Ophal. Yeah, something like that. Awful. Well, it's awful. Awful.
Awful
Something like
TH. But only one F.
Oh, well, there you go.
Am I not allowed to be curious about the weird status that I can't tell what it is on me? Do I have to wait?
Yeah, you have to wait.
Okay. I'm just making sure that that's not something I have to currently deal with, or if I just wait for whatever happens.
Correct. That's a reminder for me.
All right. I'm just making sure.
And this way he won't forget until an hour after it should have happened,
Good.
like last time.
I like
I mean,
that.
I probably will, but
It's on there.
Oh, I'll remember. I'll tell you all
Char,
about
Char's got this. Char will remind you. They're honest about
hour.
things.
Yeah, I'll just be like, what is that?
Hey, Jason, I still have this. What's
I
going
have
on?
it.
all right. So you're treating wounds.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Taking a break to treat some wounds and to make sure people aren't dying on us.
Buddy.
Okay. Sure. Let's treat wounds, and then we'll wrap up the session there. Let's run all.
No, I don't. I want to re-roll that.
no.
The
Why are we-
19.
Why are these dice rolls so bad tonight?
There you go.
Ah.
Take
Give
a
me
hero point
little-
away.
Yeah, that's better. Whatever. 19 to both me and Mayhem. Because I can do
Thank you.
2 people at once.
Already looking a lot better.
Everyone's doing great.
Regan, you need more hit points. You
I
can't go from
know.
your bar cannot move that far on 19 hit points.
It's very good. Go, my. Okay, that's a success. Oh, woo!
Oh,
Who is most injured? I didn't even think.
I
about
hate to
that.
say it, but I actually think Mayhem's probably going to need it more still.
Yeah, take it.
You're scratched.
So
I am down
You're
23 hit points.
My
many hit points do you have?
God.
He's a tank.
Yeah, I'm down
Mayhem
13
has
hit
a lot more
points.
HP.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I was
take
like, I was looking at numbers, and normally I would be like, you take it because I'll be fine. But I was like, actually, I think I'm hurt more.
How much
right now.
HP do you have, Felix, in total?
I have 92 in total. I
Oh
am
my
down
God.
13.
That's not as far.
right
below
I'm
mine as I thought it would.
such
Not
a
bad.
weakling. I have 64 max HP. I have nothing.
Look, we're gonna do some strength training so that Felix can get his strength score up, and then we're gonna do some endurance training so that we can get Regan some training in like toughness or something. So
Yeah,
she'll have
that-
extra hit points. That's all.
She's not doing. She's like, oh, gym class or band. I'm gonna choose band, not because I like the instruments, but because I hate gym class.
God, I know that feeling too well. Choosing like
Well-
just because the other one is worse.
And I guess with that, you take some time across the street and in a dark alley, treating your wounds, taking some, I don't know what you take for poisons of spores, but
Wait.
Charcoal.
that stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
charcoal,
Activated charcoal.
activated
Here,
charcoal,
Felix.
and like Tums.
You can have 24 just for you.
Okay, and one more. All right. So
Just
I'll
for-
say like an hour has gone by. I think I haven't tracked the time for a while, so
Oh wait, I get.
maybe it's all 2 hours. It's been 2 hours.
I could reapply the deafened to the Olfal.
Oh yeah, it's still
Good.
deafened.
Yeah.
It was only deafened for a
Okay.
round, so
Oh, I think it's for a full minute.
I'm pretty sure it was just a round for the crit effect on that one spell.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it died right after, so.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it doesn't
And it
matter.
could not hear
Regardless,
anything.
it's gone. In
Ooh.
death, we hear no sounds.
Was
All
that
right.
I
healing
actually
for me?
think I didn't even have to heal
Yes.
myself if it's been an hour because my
Oh, it
hand
was a crit. It
stone
was actually a
will
minute.
heal me.
Not bad.
Okay. In any case, it died. And in any case, I think that's the end of the episode. Yay! Dun, dun, dun. All right. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. Oh yeah, this episode was brought to you by the owl.
Thanks,
We
Owl.
the card of
We didn't use
wisdom.
this at all.
If we had led off with the owl to begin with, this would have been a very different session. But because we didn't, this is what you got.
Thanks for hanging out with us. I think we're off next week, right?
I think we're off for a couple
Yeah.
weeks. In fact.
And
not
for a couple
here.
weeks, so we'll be back at some point. I have some
Right, for a
episodes to
while.
upload, so if you're watching via YouTube, maybe you won't even notice that we haven't been around for a little bit as the episodes come out weekly, but on a 4-week time delay. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Hope you all are enjoying it as much as I am. We'll be back at some point in the eventual future. If you want to catch up on our old episodes, we're at youtube.com/thirdaction. Check out our podcast. Same deal as just this, but without our beautiful faces on it. Honestly, kind of better.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Hurtful. Wounded. Oh.
And yeah, there's Discord too. I sometimes talk in there and ask me questions. And I don't know. Go enjoy life and be gay and like do crimes or whatever.